Good point. I got a Jackie Robinson shirt too, so next time we all got to wear them on the same day.
I got one too.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
I got some real ones and some knocks. I made a killing on the knocks.
Listen, those were so hard to come by.
Man, I actually the first day.
You can resell those and probably get at least $20-$30 per shirt.
The first day.
I think I used bleach on mine. I ain't never.
The first day though, I went and stood in line.
Okay.
At,
you went to Dick's?
Yep.
I was in Staples, which is right there on Canal, and Dick's is right there. And the lady had these shirts in her trunk, and she saw them and said, "Here, Mr. Stroger, you deserve a couple of shirts." So she gave me 2.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
It's sometimes it's a blessing to be a mini celebrity. You never know.
Do you remember the first time like you realized like, oh, I'm kind of famous? Do you have one of those types of moments?
Yes, I hadn't even. I had just gotten the nod from the committeeman, and I said, "Janine, we need to take a vacation." We went to Vegas, and we were in like the M&M's thing, and the guy said, "Todd Stroger." I was like, "What?" Now I'm used to people, strangers calling me, but that first time I was like, "What the hell? Where's the police?"
That sounds just like.
Do you have those types of moments, Maze?
What?
Where like you realize like, oh, I'm kind of famous, like people know me. Like you've been somewhere and somebody like yelled out your name or something, or said, "What's in it for the black people?"
That I'll be honest, not without trying to be braggadocious. That happens a lot.
Okay. It's not braggadocious.
It actually happens a lot, and I moved your mic, so you probably got to adjust it.
Okay.
So that actually happens a lot, and every time I'm honored by it, it's like what's really crazy is when people kind of geek out, or when they be like, "Oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the only blah 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 blah." It is a very rewarding feeling. Although
it's all still humbling for you.
I very much am grateful for it as compared to, like, I still say one day when I'm famous, I would say that, like, we're talking now, but like I would never say it. I would say that as far as a local celebrity, I would say that somewhere in the mix, I've acquired that.
Okay.
Now you wouldn't get me to say like, oh, I am whoop-de-wham, but I will say like on the humble, I've been in Chicago for a long time and I've done a lot of different things.
Okay.
I don't think that the things that I have done, I mean, I think that it's a collective. And then I think the radio gives me the opportunity to highlight it all, to take it, to put it all like kind of in a full breath. So it's like the culmination of it. Like, like there's people that 20 years ago would know me from being the Sprite guy, who was the first dude to put corporate Sprite money into the streets, right? Like Todd and those guys, when I first got in the game, I was more like the young small business owner that was getting into politics. Like I wasn't made by politics. I was made by starting out at V103 and then building my name at V103 to understand the entertainment industry locally. And then being at V103, even though I was a lowly person at V103, like a promotions assistant, I learned the industry, and they was like, that dude is a hustler. Like people was like, he gonna be something, right? And I walked into V103 the first day like, I'm only doing this for a year. And 1 year to the day, I got the job as the director of, well, actually account executive at MZD, which was the ad agency for Coca-Cola. And And when I got the job, my job was to be the traditional black PR guy for Coca-Cola. So my job was to show up at all the dinners, coordinate the Jesse Jacksons, the pushes, whatever. My only goal in life at that time was to get paid off of hip-hop, right? And so...
You want to be like a record exec?
I wanted to be anything that could get me paid in hip-hop. So I tried to be a rapper, a DJ. I couldn't dance. A producer. I wound up doing promotions, and I promoted a concert that flopped. But that's how I got into promotions. But then I went to Coke, and then while I was at Coke, they was telling me about the job. Now by this time I was at V103. I was living the life. I drove the promotions van. I had me a little segment where I called in. I could drive around all day. I was getting money on the side because everybody paid you to bring the van to their place. So I was only making $18,000 as a promotion. I took a $20,000 pay cut to take that job because I was making sandwiches at Wall Street for like $40,000 a year, and then I got the job at V103 and it was 18. But by the time it was over, I was probably making like 75.
Really?
Because I mean, dang, you got that van all day long. I invented their street team. The logo for V103 right now is the logo I created.
What?
Yeah.
Let me look at it.
But it was like I was staff. So it was like, and it was like right when the internet was coming on and all of that. So essentially, that logo right there is the logo I came up with. Actually, the black one.
This one?
The black one.
That one.
And then...
No way, man.
Yeah. I can show you pictures. Actually, I think I got pictures of it here. Like, I got my farewell book here when they left because they was like, that dude is going to be something. Like, there was a time at V103, like, when I would host a stage at the Taste and people would tear my clothes off. And it would be like
chanting your name like, Maze!
Yes. Like, literally.
That's when you had your braids?
Nah, I was bald headed.
Okay.
I got the pictures. It's like, and it would be like at 3 o'clock. It was almost like a stripper show, damn near. Because it was like at 3 o'clock, I'm gonna take the stage, and it's like that was my end. It was the beginning of the end because all the personalities hated me because I got more props. Like when you put me in front of a live crowd, it was like I was like V103's hip hop kid, right? Like they was straight R&B, and I was like, I'm determined. But they also had
it's kind of urban.
They had 106 jams in the same state. Anyway, long story short, when at Coke, I forced my way into the industry because I had sponsorship dollars. Like I wasn't part of the Chicago clique. So, like, none of the hip-hop kids in Chicago, like, they was all established. They was throwing concerts. And it was, like, the Biz Marquee Vapor shit. That was real for me. Me and my boy Big Swill, though, we was like, we gonna start our own thing. And then when I got the money at Coke, when I became the director of urban marketing for Coke, I had all of their money for sponsorship. So I had my own artists. So I would, and DJs that I was managing and all that. So I would leverage my sponsorship.
Genius.
You want my sponsorship? You got to put my artists on.
That's genius.
And then my artists would be like, and then my artists took off, and then I was sponsoring the parties. Then we started combining, saying, well, why do we sponsor somebody else's party? Why don't we do our own shit? Yeah. So then I became partners with people in the parties, and then I learned about politics. So then when they were shutting all the black clubs down, or the black nights down, people would come to me, and I knew how
that's like was your first like political like.
Well, my first political was with Alderman Burnett because I had gone to jail in college, and so my plan was thrown off. And then they told me he had gone to jail. I was following him around. He wouldn't talk to me. Then he tried to drop a rap record, and I was representing Jay-Z.
Maze, what? Is this a real true story?
Yeah, Alderman Burnett. If you Google him, you can see Google Alderman Burnett Change Man video.
Man. I remember that.
He recorded a $50,000 video, and it was like the brothers was like, we got to lick with this one, and I was like, okay, I gotta save him.
Okay. Look at Maze always saving.
But I was like, I want to be in politics. So if you want me to be in politics, you want
quid pro quo.
Hey, man.
The whole world is
and then
off a quid pro quo.
What I told him was, I'll do all the stuff at night, because you pay all these guys $50,000-$60,000 a year to go out and put posters and signs up. Shit, I got a street team. We could take this whole neighborhood overnight. Bust the move. Hey, you want it?
Hey, Sonia, can I get some Albion?
Can you hear?
Nope.
You make sure that connect. Looking at the generation. Ain't no hocus pocus. They will all know us. Don't let no one put you down. You're beautiful inside. Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, how you feeling this morning, man?
Oh, I'm feeling good. You know, COVID hasn't got me, so.
Hey, you know what? COVID, we
got our millennial back.
COVID ain't getting us, man. Hey, man. I got the spray, man. I got the spray. I'm going to have Millhouse get over here and spray the whole joint. You heard they got the spray, right?
They got the spray?
There's a spray, man. They got this magic spray. You spray. Man, you got this spray. Now the spray,
keep talking like
you
this.
put it all over.
Yeah, it's going to come.
And no, but the spray, they put it on things and then the COVID can't grow on it.
Oh.
Man, so I'm telling you, man, we getting ready to get it. I'm telling you, man, we taking this thing, the soul plane, man. We got to keep flying. We can't let them stop us, man. I'm telling you. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Todd, feeling bright and green this morning. All right, I'm saying, like, you know.
I realize that I know I have more shirts. How come I keep on wearing the same 5?
You know why? I'm going to tell you why you wear the same 5. I'll tell you why you wear the same 5. You wear the same 5, Todd, because when you wash, right, the stuff goes back on the top.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So, like, no, I'm serious. Like, so here's how it works. So, like, when you work at a restaurant, they teach you first in, first out. So, anything that's on the top, like, you put it in and you put it at the back. But when your clothes get washed, ain't nobody putting all the stuff that just came out the dryer all the way at the bottom of the drawer. Take everything. No. First of all, I fold my clothes, and then by the time my drawers be so stuffed that I might as well not fold them. Because I'm cramming them down in there and pushing them. You know what? I don't have enough drawers because Carrie got all the drawers. She got all the closets. Look, man, I'm going to tell you. In our bedroom, like, I don't even bother putting no shoes in the bedroom. I just keep them in the basement, right? Because it be like, and then it's like, and then her mama send her a box every week of some new fresh clothes.
Oh, that's
right. It's so, because, you know, her mom be like, you'll look so good in this. I'll be like, but you gonna forget you got it. Right? I'm gonna tell you. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I don't know how we got on that squirrel, and I'm probably be in trouble because I'll be telling. But I'm just saying, man. Look, man. I be putting my clothes in the closet downstairs in the coat closet. I be finding my coats be like, help. I went down in the basement the other day. I was cleaning out the closet because I was getting ready to get ready. You know, I'm like, now I know I bought a rain suit, right? Then I pulled out one rain suit and then another one. Because they go in the closet and you can't find them no more. Right. Because they so, man, I done found so many coats and stuff in between coats. Mm-hmm. In between, you know what? And now, I'm going to tell y'all what. If y'all are
Nate's
smart.
got a Burberry rain suit.
No, I don't. I got a hood version though. It's a Gerberry rain suit, baby. It's like the Burberry that looked like it. You know when everybody had Let me stop.
What's a rain suit?
Right, huh?
What's a rain suit?
You ever been outside in the rain? It's a suit made to be out in the rain. No, I bought a rain suit because when we were first doing our thing with Ravinia, you never know if you go out there. And you know, once you out there, they like you out there. So it's the coat and the pants. And then you can put the pants, but the pants are like breakaways, like the old school, so I could go and just take them off. And then you got shorts and a whole outfit under there when it rains, and you can ball it all up, put it in a bag, you take up this much space, and you all good. Right?
Golfers wear them all the time. I mean, they keep them all the time. I used to have one in my golf bag.
I look so fresh in my rain suit. You know what? That's why I love you, Ruthie, and that's why, y'all, she is back. It is our millennial.
Like one of them with the swishy materials.
We gotta say what's up to Miss Ruthie Mo. Ruthie Mo, you've been gone. Good to have you back. I'm gonna tell you,
back.
If I get one more text, one more call, one more, what did you say to Ruthie this time? Man, I'm like, you know what? I'm known to offend, but it's all in love. I hope are y'all watching the No Limit story on BT?
I'm a huge Master P fan.
So, can I tell you that when we did this, I don't know if you all heard me on the first show. You probably heard me. You probably didn't because you was busy being a traitor for the first week. But it's all good. For the first 2 days. Because he was back. He was with us on Monday, so I ain't going to even trip.
I am from the old world. You give 2 weeks notice.
They was from the new world. They was like, you can keep them 2 weeks. Todd called me like, hey, I was going to give them 2 weeks, but I'll see you Monday. I was like, I love it. All right, so, but when I first started talking, I said, I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry. I just wanted to, if I was going to get back in the game, I wanted to own my own masters. Right? And that own your own masters essentially came from Master P. Like, he was and now looking at his Country Bumpkin story right now, how he got played and how everybody made fun of him.
Country Bumpkin, he came from New Orleans. That's a big city.
It's a big city, but you know how big cities can be a trap for people in those big cities, and they don't realize how big the world is.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell you all. Entrepreneurs over employees. It's a great opportunity. You should watch the Master P story series on BT. It's pretty cool because I think BT might be hitting a lick, right? In that they're starting to do my stories. The stories that mean something to me, the Master P's, the Puffies, the DMX's, and I think what I know, Todd, that we denigrate that era somewhat because of the machismo, the bad part, but I also tell you that was probably the era that created the most new black millionaires was during the 90s, because during that hip-hop era before the white guys figured out they got to take the control away from the artists.
Right.
It was like the black artists were in control, and when you look at Master P's deal, it was the most lucrative.
Oh no, he's a genius.
Right, and then he went off into movies. He went, and it was all stuff that people said, look at this country fool, he don't know what he's doing.
He was smart enough to say, I can make bad stuff and people will buy it.
But actually, it wasn't necessarily bad. It just didn't have, it reminded me of Dolomite somewhat. If you watch that Eddie Murphy movie, where you got a vision and
some things are like, this will be a cult classic, it's so bad. And something is just like, this is bad.
You know what? I actually like the Master P movies because it was like they was telling real hood stories. Anyway, the point
I got a Master P story.
Okay, well, why don't you save it? Because I'm going to do this. I got to say what's up to Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. Sonia, how you feeling this morning? Make them say, the nine. Hey, y'all, yes.
Come on, Todd.
That's the song. That was the song. You know what? Don't get me doing the mystical. Sonia, look at Ruthie. Ruthie is like.
I learned from my mama is that when you have babies, all of a sudden you stop paying attention to the rest of the world.
That's when you need to pay the most attention to the rest of the world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Co-host Todd Stroger. Ruthie Moore is back. Sonia locked and loaded. Let's get this thing up to 60,000 feet. We are up and away. We'll be back after this mix. Let me do this. Let me ask, hey, Google, what is the weather? Maybe Google will tell us what the weather is before we get out of here. Google, can you tell us what the weather is in Chicago? No, maybe.
Google don't like you,
Google like
Right now in Chicago, it's 72 degrees and partly cloudy. Today, it'll be partly cloudy with a forecasted high of 77 and a low of 69.
Looks like Google told us the weather. We'll figure out the traffic some other kind of way. We'll be back. I gotta figure out the timing on that. Like, I gotta ask the question, have the fill, and then by the time it.
I thought Google was quicker than that.
You know, she just sometimes be a little.
But we also using a lot of internet, and I don't think I was as specific as I need to be for the question. Okay, Google, what is the weather in Chicago today?
In Chicago today, it'll be partly cloudy with a forecasted high of 77 and a low of 69. Right now, it's 72 degrees and partly cloudy.
You gotta ask the right question.
Right. You do. Because they're trying to process, they got to limit the information. That's why on the traffic, when I say okay, Google, what's the traffic in Chicago? Right.
There's light traffic in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, Google, what's the traffic like on the Dan Ryan Expressway in Chicago?
There's light traffic on Dan Ryan Expressway, Chicago, Illinois.
But, okay, Google, what's the traffic on the Dan Ryan Expressway outbound to 95th Street?
There's light traffic near 95th Dan Ryan.
See, I think what I got to do is get the right questions, and then get the right, because if you say, maybe if you can connect it to traffic.com, right, and get the traffic update. Right, and if there's a way to say, okay, can you go to traffic.com and give me the traffic update? So I gotta play with that. That's those are the things that are going on. Hey guys, I am excited to announce we are going to have 2 more shows joining the lineup. Here we are going to have Tucson Werner and Herb Howard with their I Said What I Said podcast that will be coming on afternoons, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then we will also be bringing on The Bigs, which is a sports podcast not a podcast, it'll be a show, and they'll be on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I thought you told me Stripper Diaries was going to come on.
Todd, you on that today?
Maze's trying to expand the world.
So
everybody need a voice.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I think the sports. That's why we gotta get these phones right, because the sports thing. Man, people who like sports radio black sports. Yeah. Don't have a venue.
I've always said, I listen to both those sports stations. And I'm like, they're always at some bar. But they're never anywhere on the south side or the west side.
Right.
Don't listen.
And black people love sports. I feel like it's going to be so dope to, during fantasy football season, to have a black sports podcast where you could be doing your picks on Sunday.
Right.
Right? Sunday morning, do a Sunday morning fantasy football last-minute pick show.
I am a terrible fantasy football guy.
Imagine having a show that allows you to compete with ESPN from 11 to 1. Right?
Now basketball, I'm pretty dang good.
Well, but basketball too. And then you can be a guest. We'll introduce them. We're going to introduce them next week on the show. Mm-hmm. They'll come in, and then they'll start the following Monday. Then they'll have their own backdrop, their own set for.
Okay.
And it'll still be from What's In It For The Black People Radio. My life, I'm Poe. It really don't matter no more. It was whack this way. Nappy Roots gonna be okay. All my life been Poe. And it really don't matter no more. Act this way. Nappy Boy's gonna be okay. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, and she is back in the building, y'all. Ruth and Mo. Let me tell y'all what. Ruthie, Todd, did y'all see the shootout at the police station yesterday?
I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it, but
did you hear it? No. You had to watch the video and hear. They have hints taking it down. I don't know if they've taken it down or you got to sign in, but I had posted it on my page. A couple, almost like 150 something shares. There was a straight up shoot, like it was at least 30 shots, 40 shots.
What was this guy hiding behind a tree or something?
No, basically, apparently he was a carjacking suspect that had some kind of way got a gun and was in the lockup and got into a shootout with the police officers. And,
I thought it was outside. It was in the building.
Well, I think it was in the transfer station. You know, like when you pull in that garage.
Oh, okay.
So maybe, and I saw that. I think it was outside too because there were people outside. The video. All I'm saying is, you know that song "Rap Is Out of Control." Chicago's out of control.
Chicago. This kind of stuff happens every once in a while. I mean, when I say every once in a while, I mean like 10 to 15 years. You remember when the guy they were taking from the federal 219, and he disarmed his guard and shot him.
I do.
Yeah.
Here's what I think.
You know, every once in a while there's, as we say, human error.
I think there's a little bit more than human error going on. I think that, well, first of all, this guy, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, so I'm not going to get too far into this, but I do think we're rapidly, I swear I feel like we're approaching lawlessness. There's like
approaching.
Mostly, and I don't know how prepared we are for lawlessness. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit later.
I think things are going to calm down now that the feds are grabbing people up and like you were saying yesterday, and they're going to have federal charges.
Okay, well, we'll see.
And I have to say that Percy Miller, Master P, he used to play at St. Monica's, which is a church in New Orleans, and Janine's mother used to volunteer there.
They talked about that in the show.
Yeah, he wanted to give them some money, and they rejected it because they didn't like, they don't like that kind of rap.
They must have had a white preacher.
Well, you'd be surprised at how some people.
We don't want that tainted money.
How was that school or that church doing now?
It's closed.
Okay.
No, they can't use the money.
And how's Master P doing right now?
Well, shoot.
He got noodles.
Same as he was when he was trying to give him the money. He rich.
Master P got noodles. You can buy instant noodles. The man is an entrepreneur.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to get all of those. Man,
well, since he tried to give him the money, I like him.
Okay. Were you all swooning yesterday for the John Lewis funeral? I think it's. Let me just say this. I know y'all don't like the president. But for y'all to pretend like George Bush didn't have the whole world in a war that we're still in right now, right? Like, cause Michelle done gave him a hug, and she gave him a hug and showed some thigh. Did you see her showing thigh on her podcast cover?
But she's,
so I was like, are you sitting up here with some short shorts with your legs off? No, let me tell you what. You sit like that in my mama house, you was getting slapped.
Hey, but that's Michelle's house though.
Okay. I was like, you better pull them shorts down. Anyway, you know what? I gotta ask this question. I just need to say, and I don't want to be. They said that John Lewis is going to be one of the founding fathers. You got that? The founding fathers of the civil rights era. What some Barack said some founding fathers. Now I just need to be. I saw
that and I didn't read into it yet. So I'm wondering what he meant.
Well, here's me, and I'm gonna be in so much trouble. The bros gonna jump on me. The black people gonna jump on me. But until I saw Selma, I didn't know who the heck John Lewis was.
Oh, but see, that's our fault. You know, I'm always talking about the group, the bigger group. We don't pass on things, and it's not just us. It's also the media has always tried to say, see, there's this one guy. So we go through Black History Month, and everybody can recite Martin Luther King's speech, but they can't tell you who the freedom riders were.
I know who the freedom riders were.
Well, I know.
But this is my point. This is just my point. Okay, just my point. I do know. I do. I've been very pretty much aware of politics, who's the who's who of the who's who, and doing what. Like, I knew Elijah coming. I mean, I got a sense of who's in the Black Caucus.
Yeah, I had a feeling you did.
So, in that, what I am a tad bit confused about is, when did this pantheon of... Now, if you gave me Thurgood Marshall, this is what I want Ruthie, the expert, to do. I want you to tell me what the most significant piece of John Lewis legislation was for black people. No, don't guess. I want you to Google it. I want you to Wikipedia it, whatever it is, and then we gotta just make sure that we don't have our heroes defined for us. Not to suggest that John Lewis was not a hero. What I am suggesting is he is being offered up to us as I think he's being utilized. His death is being utilized right now in this era of Trump, and I think that...
I don't think it's Trump. I think it's the bigger moment of the Floyd killing and all the things that are going on with protests. So he represents protests, and he happened to die at the right time for people.
I don't know if he necessarily represents protest.
See?
No, I'm just saying. I think he represents a time like the Martin Luther Kings on the postage stamp. I think it's like a postage stamp type of symbolism going on.
He is one of the last vestiges of that era in a prominent space. I'm not dissing him at all. No way, shape, or form.
But you got to remember that, nothing personal, Ruthie, but young people they don't make the story. Older people do, because they got all the money.
I'm not debating it.
That's why he's the story.
And I'm suggesting that right now, older people are making him... Older white people have utilized this time to make him the story. Play the clip for me, Sonia Escobar.
John Lewis will be a founding father of that fuller, fairer, better America.
Now, how many founding fathers are there?
And you got to remember, it's his longevity that helps.
Right, he outlived everybody. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, right? So when everybody else is dead, you get to be like, yo, you know I did that, right? Who gonna verify? I'm just playing. Okay, I'm through.
No.
No, I'm not gonna rewrite history because John Lewis has a space in history.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that. But again, it's like when you listen to Dorothy Tillman. I really need to get Dorothy Tillman on the show because I don't want to mess it up.
No,
but
I just understand, Mace, because I remember I was talking to my friend who was a lobbyist, and he said, yeah, somebody was saying how they started the Golf Island Foundation. I was like, that was me and Howard. But if you're not there, then people tend to forget.
Exactly.
And whoever's there can say what they want.
Exactly. And I remember Howard saying he started the golf out, and he told me that. I was like, you ain't started nothing. And I was the executive director, right? All right. Okay, real quick. Me Too against Madigan. We're going to talk about that at 7 o'clock, so I'm going to leave it alone. But the white women are stepping up. It's like, who going to be the first black person? Nam. I'm going to move on to that. You don't know Nam? You might have to find that one. Only in Illinois does the chairman of the investigating committee get to investigate their father-in-law in a corruption scandal. Now, how does Carrie Zalewski get to preside over the Illinois Commerce Commission trial where her father-in-law is one of the people accused of the wrongdoing? Not to say they're guilty, and they're supposed to be looking out for the citizens.
You mean they are actually doing an investigation?
No, they did. They did a hearing, but her father-in-law is named as one of the prime people in it, and she was indignant. She was offended.
Actually, I heard that clip.
Really? Only in Illinois. I'm just saying, we don't even care about the way it even looks.
Hey, it got 10 seconds.
Think about this, Ruthie. Her father-in-law is one of the subjects of the investigation. She chairs the Illinois Commerce Commission that's supposed to protect us from all of the bad guys that do stuff in the utilities, right? And she gets to chair the hearing with her father-in-law in it. And she got mad because somebody said, do you think maybe you should recuse yourself? Nobody said you were guilty, but like just to avoid the appearance of impropriety. And y'all think Madigan ain't gonna step down? It's gonna step down. Like, and then she get paid $200,000 a year to do it. This is what she said, Todd. Check this out. She said, all my years at the Illinois Pollution Control Board, do you know how much that board pays?
$75,000?
$170,000 per year.
She was the chairman?
No, that's the members.
What?
Right.
Bye, y'all.
Illinois. No. Understand? The Illinois Pollution Control Board. That's why Cynthia Santos, whatever her name was, left the water rec. She was like, I get paid $70,000 a year as water rec. I can go to the Illinois Pollution Control Board and make $170,000, and I only got to go to a meeting a month.
Boy, that's a plum job, isn't it?
It's like, it's absurd.
No, it's not absurd.
I don't know.
Y'all better learn to
Like,
learn.
is this normal?
For white people, yes.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's what people always said. This stuff wasn't created for us.
Right. They like, man, you got to eat after you leave here. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling y'all. We got to figure this thing out. All right. I have blown through another break, but this is what we're going to do. So, can I suggest to you all that now that we have commercials that are ready to go, we are going to get them trafficked. This is going to be your last limited commercial show, because starting next week we will start running our commercials. I do want to make sure that we are clear that the Reverend Dr. Willie Wilson is one of the biggest sponsors of this show. There's a lot going on, and when things first jumped off, Dr. Wilson was one of the first people to step up. We want to make sure that you all are aware that he is a sponsor. Shout out to Kimbark Beverage Shop, who is our Friday sponsor. Y'all make sure Paula told me she went to go get some black-owned tequila, but y'all sold it all out at Kimbark. So y'all look for those red. I'm just telling y'all, we got to do. Let's do right. Like I'm telling you, the morning show right here. Maze, Ruthie, Todd, Sonia.
Yeah, we're gonna buy some black alcohol and get drunk one morning.
Some we gonna bring Todd some edibles. My cousin said he got an edible for you. Hey y'all, real quick, let's try this one. Let's do this one. Did you know ICE is having their ICE Academy here?
You mean now, like a training center?
No, they're having a class. And the class is to teach you about what ICE really does. It's a 6-week class, 6 days a week.
It's for it's for regular folks.
It's for like if the community. Now, the immigration people are the immigration advocates are trying to get it shut down. Mm-hmm. It begins July 15th. Now, I'm not telling anybody black to sign up. Right? This is for all of my Latino friends who believe in a black and brown coalition. Right? Because this would be the unique opportunity for a lot of black people who may have been assaulted driving through certain neighborhoods. Remember when the mayor and they engaged those Latino street organizations to protect their neighborhoods, and it wound up with black people getting beat up and hurt and assaulted. Mm-hmm. And you see how there's this ICE Academy right now. This is when all of the people that defended what happened and talked smack about black people and what y'all was gonna do in our neighborhoods and why y'all ain't. Remember the video of the guy talking? So I just want to be clear. I'm not advocating for anybody to sign up for this at all. But I am going to say that it would be, I'm sure plenty of people would be offended if I was to promote that. Right? People would be offended. They would be talking about how much of a hater I was, etc., etc., etc. So the next time you decide that there's an issue and they want to engage the Latino street organizations and it winds up with black people being assaulted by people who could have potentially been targets of ICE, you should really think about that. Like right now, that would be a good time that you would. I'm gonna tell you, if it was a different day, I would be passing out the number. I would be encouraging people to sign up as many black people as possible. Why? Not even because I want anything bad to happen, but just purely leverage. Could you imagine the picture right now of 300 black people lined? I bet you if they promoted that, black people would be lined up to go to the class. Tells you how to identify undocumented immigrant, firearms, all of that good stuff.
Firearms?
Mm-hmm. They show you about, man, they take you to an ICE jail, right? There's an employment opportunity that comes out of it. Them jobs, $40,000, $55,000 a year. Now, I'm just suggesting that the next time I take a picture of a work site and I say, man, where are the black workers? And Latinos jump on the page and say, y'all Negroes don't do nothing for yourself, blah, 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 blah. See how terrible you see how that works?
See how that works, man.
I just want y'all just to be realistic, because your instinct is that we should instantly be against that. But I would tell you that if promoted properly, them classes would be full of black people. So, remember who you're choosing as your allies, because I remember when Trump had his first State of the Union speech and he said he was going to start the ICE Corps and there was going to be opportunities to employ people and we're trying to load up the Homeland Security and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's a great black employment plan.
You did say that.
I did. I'm just saying. Now, that could evolve into Hitler Youth, which is what we don't want. I'm just saying there's always two sides to the coin. And I think that the Latino community, particularly the undocumented, vociferous ones that are quick to denigrate black people, should recognize we're citizens. That's all I'm going to say. But the Latinos were rewarded for illegally patrolling their neighborhoods and beating people. You could get a government job doing it. Trump wants to reschedule the elections, Todd.
That just goes to show you. I'm telling you, Mace, you can't be fooling around with fascist dictators.
I'm telling y'all now.
You give them an inch, they'll take a yard.
He ain't Trump like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, that's in the end.
He like, I love these sheets.
Even though
these some good sheets.
He'll have no choice.
Yeah, you think that he gonna win though?
Yeah.
Ooh.
He gonna win though. I'm just telling you. Ruthie, you making that face. Trump is going.
Because, I mean, you said that with some confidence.
When the new person comes in, the Marines will say, come on, let's go.
All I'm saying is, he gonna put, in the last 3 weeks, he gonna send all the Marines and everybody to a foreign country, and then he gonna call all the motorcycle gangs up, and they gonna be like, anyway.
He gonna pull a Putin and give himself like another title.
Trump. Okay, so I'm just saying, just like this.
The CEO of
half the No Limit soldiers on the black side, I'm telling you, if they black men, I'm just telling y'all, it's a lot of black men. I'd be like, I'd be like, man, that
there are some black men, but I would say the majority of black men, they know crazy when they see it.
I say, right, they live with it.
He said that.
I'm just playing.
Yes.
Hey y'all, jokes, man. I do jokes. Look, man, y'all want to laugh in the morning, y'all want to be mad. What y'all want to do? I can make you mad if you want to be mad. I can just enjoy
you can make me mad. I'm mad every day.
I like a hybrid.
Yeah, that's the way.
Did you see that the NBA reopened last night?
Yes, I turned through it because somebody said it on Facebook. It's on TNT again.
Well, man, was Charles Barkley there?
Yes, it was. It was the same.
So they all in the bubble? Are the NBA?
They kept on mentioning the bubble, but
to
be honest with you, I only watched like 5 minutes. But they were at that long table, and Charles was way at this end, Shaq was way at this end. I'm guessing there was 6 feet between all of them.
Okay, well, I was just thinking about the
Kenny had a mask on the whole time.
Kenny like, I ain't messing with y'all. He like, but I'm not gonna miss this check neither.
No.
What I was thinking about though was the player, what's his name, Williams, that broke out to go to Magic City to get some chicken wings.
Yeah.
He picked it up. He picked it up curbside.
He picked her up curbside. Let me ask you. Okay, I think if the NBA don't want this to keep happening, I think they probably just need to put. I bet they got strippers in the bubble now.
They built a barbershop.
I bet you.
That doesn't surprise me, though.
I bet you they built a strip club. I bet you we won't know where it's at. But I bet after that when they,
I guess I wouldn't be surprised about that either.
We gonna. I mean, if you want to keep them in the bubble, and I bet they built a chicken wing shop. I would love to have a chicken contract for that bad boy.
So I like to look at as much behind the scenes footage that I can of the bubble, because I have a sneaking suspicion that if this is the way that you have to contain the virus, this could be an inside look into how we're gonna have to set the world up. Because if they taking care of these rich athletes, I mean, they have state of the art everything, top of the line everything, and these containment strategies are very innovative and new. And so if you want to see what the world could possibly look like, check out as much behind the scenes footage of the bubble as you can.
See, that's why Todd, Ruthie trying to go to she trying to get her name number 2 in the lineup, man.
Oh no!
She wants to.
That was pretty good.
That was really good. I appreciate that. All right, let me see.
They are rich.
Yes.
Rich.
So you know they taking care.
Yeah, but they think about this. They rich. And how many of them people in that bubble gonna be broke? Think about how many people are playing for money.
65%, I believe.
How many people is playing for money right now? Like, if they had a choice, like, how many people are literally playing for money, and how many people think that this bubble could be good for some of them because they're gonna save some money?
Somebody give me $110 million. Watch out.
Okay, and I just need to say, yesterday I was watching Chicago Tonight, as I always do, and they still won't put me on, but it's okay. It's okay. And as they were, they had Brandon Johnson on yesterday.
Oh yes, I saw it.
You saw that, and Brandon Johnson passed a resolution about the resolution? It was a black resolution, the resolution for Black Lives That Matter, for Black Justice, the resolution for Black Justice. And, usually when I see a resolution, you know what I mean? You know what I say?
What do you say?
You ain't gonna do, right? So then, but and it's like yesterday, like when them things come on Chicago Tonight, I think Carrie starts looking at her phone because she don't even want to see my face. Because I know she'd be tired of me talking about the elected officials, because she knows she'd be like, I'm an elected official, right? I'd be like, I know, baby. Not you though, not you, right? Not you, right? Not you. Like when the white people is like, you Negroes, and you like, but not you, man. It's not you.
No, not you, man. Made you different,
right? So she don't even. I know she just started reading, right? She read the papers, she read everything, and it was like he was talking forever and ever. And I was just waiting for her to look up, and she never looked up, right? She never gave me the eye contact. I was waiting, like, because I had my mouth all twisted up. Yeah. I was trying to hold my look for like, I think I tried to hold it for like 5 minutes, like. But it's only so long you can have your mouth twisted up and make up your face the way you make up your face. So finally when I gave up, I was like, so you start talking loud because you want to engage. You still reading. I'm not going to engage. You're not getting me on this.
It's the longest article ever written.
And then this morning, I got up and I was like, because I was still feeling some kind of way. And I looked at the article in the paper, and the paper said, county passes symbolic resolution. And I was like, even the white people get it nowadays. Mm-hmm. Even the white people get it. Look, stop with the stunts, man. Right? Like, honestly, what's really freaking ticking me off.
No, the resolution would say, well, we'll see.
It's a non-binding resolution.
Right. It's basically, it's like,
we hope that you
wait till the end of the year and see if we actually do all the stuff I just said.
And we, like,
that's really what it was.
Right, exactly. Right.
Just give me a minute.
Look.
Just hold on a second.
Right. You hit me again. Right. Okay. So, I think we gotta help black elected officials recognize that black folks are, like, kind of tired of the bamboozle, woo wop de wham switch, right? Like the symbolism stuff. is really run its course. And I think that don't stand up and tout a resolution. Right? Remember, that's what happened to the reparations ordinance. It became a resolution and it went away. So when the white guys, so let me tell you, your legislators, I was talking to a Latino legislator who I happen to really, 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 really like yesterday. And he was like, you guys just don't really recognize your power. Like, y'all think that your job is to be accountable to the executive. No, you are a separate unit of government and you need to push your issues. And it was so crazy to me.
I was looking at,
because the Latino guy was like, man, if y'all pushed it right now, y'all could pretty much get anything y'all wanted. But y'all haven't even proposed nothing. Except some damn resolutions. Right? Some stuff some warm, fuzzy, feel-good stuff. I agree, like telling white corporations they got to put people on the board. That's cute. Not cute. That's cool. But that's not, how many people does that really help? What that does is that gives you leverage over those corporations, because they're going to fight you to figure out how can they turn your demand into a watered down resolution, instead of legislators using their power to say you shall. Right? They have the power to tell people in this state they shall. Remember the difference between may and shall? Remember, like when Paul Williams taught me that. May means you got an option.
Right.
Shall means if you don't, your ass is going to jail. We have that. Our legislators have that power. So the same amount of work you put into a resolution, put it into an ordinance. White people are saying, man, y'all really have an opportunity here. There's some real white women are even like, dang, y'all could.
Is the function of like a symbolic resolution to be like a litmus test to see how people gonna respond?
No, it is the black response to making sure that you can stand up and say you did something without offending the white people.
Black people aren't the only people that have resolutions. A resolution is a way of saying that I am in support and I'm part of the group. A lot of times they do resolutions like to help back something that's happening in Congress or something. So, the congressman will go, we have 20 resolutions in the state of Illinois saying that this is what my people want to see.
Let me give you a better example of a resolution. Been to a funeral?
Yes.
You know that part at the funeral where you be like, good Lord. And everybody who ever knew you said, be it resolved that we loved him because he was his mama's son. And Church of the such and such choir board, be it resolved that as a member of the board, and again, goes and may a copy be given to the family, and may a copy go in the records. You know what records they go to? The circular records.
Okay.
Right?
Like, it's a little different in this case. So if you pass a resolution that says we think that corporations should have, certain mix in it, the next year you can check their annual report. If they don't have that mix, then you come back and then you can make hay.
Or you could say, do it today.
Well, you can't.
That's almost like a study.
No, you can't actually tell them what to, because they are a private corporation.
And so again,
okay.
So because I know I can't really make you do it, let me tell the black people that I did a resolution to tell them that I know y'all stealing from us, and I want y'all to stop stealing. Please.
Sometimes shame is the only weapon.
When have white people been shamed about what they did to black people unless it involved a dog or a water?
No, but they use shame too to make things happen that they want.
Right. To get rich again. Meanwhile, we are making think about it. They making a resolution to back a multi-million-dollar project. Ours is to get justice. It's okay. I am so glad that the justice resolution. I vote in support of the justice resolution.
Well, no, I mean, I think that there should be some concrete things that should be happening too.
Okay, I agree. I'm not debating it. Resolutions. I bet you. How many resolutions you think we're going to get out of this legislative session? Be it resolved that we do not want the police to kill no more black people. I bet you we get a resolution for that. Right, they can. It says it's going to be everybody signed. We signed a resolution that said don't kill the black people. I voted for it. All right, let me move on real quick because I need to. Ruthie, why you make that face?
I mean, you just put it in such a different perspective. I always, have been of the belief that, there is some power in symbolism. Like, let's talk about it first. But just hearing you say, like, why are we talking about it? You got the power to do something.
Right. The Latino caucus don't be doing resolutions. They do a resolution for a funeral. They do a resolution for a citizen. When it's time to do business, they doing ordinances. They doing laws. They're passing bills.
I agree. They should be passing something, but I don't think that means that the resolution is worthless.
I don't think it's worthless. I think it's, again, symbolic because one of my favorite Jay-Z lines.
No, which one is it?
A gun in your face and that's all you could come up with. Remember he said, "What you doing, you boy? You know I am." He said, "Gun in your face and that's all you can come up with." So what? We got
because in the end, men are all men. We're all the same. The only difference is that some of our clothes are a little more expensive.
How do I do it like this? Let me do it. Let me take it another step. I'm gonna take it. As Jay-Z said, "Gun in your face." So I'm gonna say, "Knee on your neck, and that's all you could come up with." I mean, seriously, what substantive has changed?
Well, hey, I'm with you. If that's all they come up with, then you're right. We ought to be kicking their butts. There got to be more than that come out of it.
So, remember when I said what's in it for the black people, like every day? I'm just telling y'all. I want everybody to stop, pause. Like, let's take all the emotion out of it. I don't want to be Maze the hater. I don't want to be Maze I'm against anybody. What I would like to do is say, what I really want us to stop and think about right now is that George Floyd happened when? How many months ago? 2? 3? 2 months ago. What substantive legal law, not resolution, but substantive change has been proposed out of this?
What are you talking about here?
And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna start with Illinois because I saw so many Black Lives Matter marches. I saw downstate politicians in white villages leading marches. I see people telling me we need to get more black people on corporate boards so that the 2 black people in the room who getting paid $150,000 to be on the board ain't gonna say nothing to piss the other 200 white people or 20 people on the board. So again, I want to know what substantive have black people proposed in Illinois at any governmental level. The biggest thing that I've seen thus far is Ray Lopez suggesting that we go to 33. We had the governor right before the George Floyd. This fool done came up and put his hand up talking about black power and black this and George Floyd and all of this, and that his fist is the same as that resolution to me. That's what I said. That's the whole point, right? Even when the white boys are like symbolic, white people are like, damn, y'all are really blowing this. Like the white people are like, are y'all really not going? Like and I'm not. I don't even want to be mad, but I'm suggesting that at every level of government, black people have been disenfranchised, and we know it. That's why they keep putting up all these bills and all of that stuff, and has no one at any level of black at any level of government has proposed anything substantive to make life and economics better for black people in Illinois. Not you, and I challenge you to find it for me. I want anybody to call me and show me, even as we approving cannabis licenses and we 50 million white boys making $50 million, they about to open up a casino, we got nothing. Look, y'all. When we come back, we are going to move on. I skipped over my social media question of the day, but I want to know, are you proud to be a Democrat? Are you? Are you? Why? I saw a lot of people clapping that Herman Cain died. Right? Herman Cain died yesterday. He was a Republican nominee for president of the United States, at one point a front runner. And I saw black people applauding the death of a black man over politics. Like, did he hire anybody? Did he feed anybody? Did he help make life better for any black people? Y'all so twisted. I'll read you the story. And maybe you should read his biography and think about why you so proud to cheer and applaud the death of a black man.
I don't cheer and applaud anybody.
That's not I'm talking about you.
I know, but I needed to say that.
So we'll be back after a few messages.
Well, there's some people I probably would cheer.
Right. I mean, that's why I like the fact that Trump didn't go to I like the fact that Trump didn't go to John Lewis's funeral. Right? Like, man, what I'm gonna go for? Mm-hmm. You spent your whole last 5 years being like, I'm the worst thing since sliced bread. I'm supposed to come to your funeral. If you ask John Lewis probably would be like, no, I don't want that motherfucker at my funeral. Right?
Yeah.
So what's the big deal? Like, I don't want you to be at my funeral.
It's because we do a lot of symbolism.
That's my point.
Here in America.
And the problem for us is...
No, we don't do a lot of symbolism.
We accept...
Most people don't show up and do... They act just like this. What we don't do is...
Not in the highest offices, though. Of like, the American political system is... pomp, circumstance, walk in, march, we sit down.
No, we talk all that stuff. Sure, it's got a structure. But don't you remember when the Republican jumped up and called Obama a liar during his speech?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that was seen as different because we thought that was more like pushback to like a black man being the president. So I didn't really see it as a holistic decline in what I would deem to be like civility within like the political sphere. I just thought, these just some racist white people mad because a black man in the office. And then Trump got in and I was like, whoa, like this is eroded from the top down.
Trump, that's because once it's hard to stop a ball once you got it rolling downhill.
But I really...
And don't,
part of me, I don't mind.
And don't forget how the Senate and the House treated Obama too.
Oh, I recall.
Yeah.
But let's also be clear that what was the Blue Dog Democrats? Weren't them the ones that was fucking with them too? And the gang of look, all I'm suggesting.
I never quite caught on to what the Blue Dogs were.
The Blue Dogs were the Democrats that wanted to steal a pill to the Reagan Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
I think that the overall decline, like within civility, like that's why we got so much lack of, quote unquote law and order. Because at the highest levels, if it's like, well, if the people at the top are not civil, why should the average everyday citizen be civil?
Thank you.
How we all look at
what is that?
It's a music thing for Claire. I have no idea. Because I don't know nothing about it.
I can't.
Herman Cain.
I mean, he brought Godfather Pizza back. He was a business. Where is my...
So, Herman Cain became the president and CEO of Godfather's Pizza.
But after saving Burger King, after saving...
He had a great career at Burger King, which is why they brought him over to the Godfather.
And it was all owned by the same corporation. But the thing, like...
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Black, you get to
Yeah, the man was very successful.
I mean, I'm saying like, and we throw him to the curb because he aspired to be. I mean, most of the successful
we threw him to the curb because he talked that conservative stuff. I was thinking about this the other day, and it had nothing to do with Herman Cain. Conservatism basically means let's go back to 1950. I do not want to go. 1950 was not very good for people like
I
me.
don't know if conservatism necessarily means going back to 1950.
You're reading the wrong post. Man, things were good in the 50s.
I don't read that. I don't think that.
I know you don't read that.
I think that there are some values of being conservative, though, that benefit us. I do. Yeah. I think we allow...
Of course, there's some good things, but being conservative in the end means things are fine, let's leave everything the way they are. No, they're not.
I think that... Or that also means being a Democrat in Illinois. Again, it's like they want to have you fight over which white boy is more racist, and they keep climbing. And don't no Democrats be like, oh my God, we gotta make black people, we gotta help them get up economically. They be like, get them niggas some fish so they can stop talking.
Man, we fighting them too.
For the haircuts.
We should be fighting them.
57, I'm packing. And a lynch mob is jacking 4 beats.
Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
Wake up, Chicago. This your man, Maze Jackson. It is the 7 o'clock hour. That's right. It's 7:07 a.m. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. But you know I got to do the top of the hour. Got to say what's up to the rest of the morning show team. What's up to my man, Todd Stroger. Todd, you all right over there, man? I see you deep in thought, man. You reading?
Yeah. It was just some things going back about Reverend Ike.
Reverend Ike.
And if he was a con artist or not.
Man.
He wasn't truly a con artist. He just was like, love money.
He just know how to pimp them. Work.
He was what the Bible tells you about. Do not love money. The love of money is what gets people in a lot of trouble.
I want y'all not to love y'all. Do not love money. Do not. Just give it to me to prove that you do not love it. Let me give you my Cash App. It's #Maze.
No. I need your bank account number.
$ Maze said. Send it to me. Detach yourself from that scenery.
No,
give me
your bank account number. I'll
Okay, well, Todd.
I got some money that I become the king of some world. Mm-hmm. I'll split it with you.
No, Todd. No, Todd.
And I'll send it right to your account.
All right, you gotta watch this, Todd Stroger. Ruthie, could you keep an eye on him, please?
His shirt's so bright, you can't help but to see him.
And then in the back, you hear Miss Sonia Escobar, musical conductor of the Soul playing. Sonia, I'm gonna give you. How you feeling, Sonia? Y'all good? I see you stepping back. All right, what's good? Sonia I see, yeah, we got Johnny from Hyde Park is in the studio. He actually came to the studio. Well, he's not in the studio. He's out. And Regina, they out here to get the technical click bugs worked out of the, when you got them tech nerdy geek people that Todd knows.
They're blurs, black
Man's
nerds.
got roaches. Get them, Johnny.
You got some roach stompers, man. Them corner kickers. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host. Gotta say what's up to everybody out there tuned in. I'm gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna go a little bit off script. First of all, we missed the social media question of the day, which was, are you proud to be a Democrat? What inspired me to ask this question was black people seem to be celebrating the death of Herman Cain. Now, if you don't remember Herman Cain was the 2011 nominee for President of the United States. He Republican nominee, black man, at one point was the front runner, he stumbled after some questions on abortion and national defense.
Yes, he stumbled once people realized, we don't want him.
And then, but prior to that, he was a multimillionaire, successful businessman in the restaurant industry. First, working at Pillsbury, he then revived the Philadelphia branch of Philadelphia area Burger King sales. He did such a great job that they asked him to take over Godfather's Pizza, which was a stumbling franchise, came back. Now, I think of Herman Cain like I think of a lot of older black men who probably did grow up in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Who,
I thought he was older than he was.
How old was he?
71?
Okay, so that's about right.
74.
Oh, 74?
So that's about right.
I guess maybe that's close in of what I was thinking of.
So, Herman Cain, to me, is along the model of a lot of our successful black business people, right? They find a niche and they work hard, and they probably came from less than desirable circumstances and just decided that they weren't going to be defeated, right? They were just like, I'm going to take whatever racism, I'm going to take whatever I got to take, but I'm going to get out of this hole.
Hey, he went to Morehouse.
He graduated from Morehouse. Right? Think about this, though. He did. He graduated from Morehouse College. I got to guess that working in fast food and all that, he probably employed quite a few black people. Then when he took over Godfather Pizza, and he was based in Atlanta, so I'm sure he probably had some philanthropic and a whole bunch. But he reminds me of not traditional, but some black businessmen in history. He then sided with President Trump politically. And from that point, I would say he was denigrated in the black community for most.
Oh, no. Black people looked at him cross-eyed when he ran for president. They're like, no, you ain't, you're not thinking like we think.
Okay, so, but I don't think
that Trump thing just cemented that, yeah, you ain't one of us.
And what makes him not one of us? Right? And
rich thought that, oh, I'm rich. The rest of you work hard.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
I don't know if it was.
I got no boots.
Okay, where did he come from? Like, so, because you know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Willie Wilson. Right? Comes from poor.
Isn't Willie pretty close to a Republican too?
But Willie Wilson is all the stuff that he's done for black people directly.
Yeah, I don't know what
they have different rhetoric. I think they have different rhetoric. Yes, I see the similarities.
Oh no, but Donald Trump, Willie Wilson supported Donald Trump, Bruce Rauner, all of the same, right? Realistically, and again, if Herman Cain is at your family reunion, Herman Cain is at your family reunion.
You mean he's part of my family?
Yes.
Or is it a guest?
Because you got a Herman Cain. There are people in my family be like, that Mason is a Republican. I'll be like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. There's no way you be saying all that stuff. I'm not a Republican. Right? I question our pride in denigrating our own, even as to be on the same. We kick Herman Cain to the curb over politics.
I think Herman Cain was like, I don't want to be with y'all. I'm going to sit in the black section of the Republican Party. Me and the other four guys. Come on.
And so what do you do? And so here's what we do and this is my point.
And I don't think people are denigrating. They're saying, why would he be silly enough to follow Trump and run around without a mask? That's what people are saying.
I think there's a lot of people in Atlanta who is, if you go outside, they at the club, they at all these people. I guess my question.
They're foolish too.
I guess my question is Herman Cain not black now? And so if let me just ask a question. If over his whole entire career, he helped make black executives at Burger King and black executives and hire black people. And
I don't know, did he?
I would say at Burger King in the 70s and 80s, yeah, he had to, because there wasn't a lot of immigrants at that point, and Burger King's were. I worked. I was a beneficiary of Burger King.
I get what you're saying.
I guess my question is, I feel like we're dogging Herman Cain and he's successful. The poor Negroes in the back is dogging the successful
Every successful person is not for you. I mean, I know that for true.
I agree. John Johnson was a Republican. Martin Luther King was a Republican. I'm not saying it's the same party. Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think we have allowed parties. I'm concerned that we're letting our political issues, like if you never talk to him about politics, is he a black man? I mean, seriously.
Oh yeah, I mean I've talked to black Republicans, and yeah, we share some of the same things, but in the end, when the rubber meets the road and it comes to how do we change things, that's when we differ.
Let me ask a question: Are you a Democrat?
I'm a Toddocrat at the moment.
Ruthie, are you a Democrat?
I mean, just kind of by default.
Are you proud? Are you a proud Democrat?
No, I would like to be independent, but Mays, you said you cannot be independent in Illinois.
You can't be independent anywhere. I ain't
Todd,
gonna get you nothing.
Todd, are you proud to be a Democrat?
I think that.
Are you proud of your career?
I think there's probably three choices in this that can probably get you something, and the green choice can get you get a Republican elected. That's that. But I think the Democrats are just like all the white people, aren't giving up anything. I don't care what party they're in. If it ain't about us and we don't stick together, I don't care if the black Republicans stuck together and asked for stuff that made sense. I'd be like, you go.
What question are you answering?
What you asked me anyway?
Exactly. That's very political of you. Are you proud to be a Democrat?
I didn't say I was a Democrat. You said that.
What are you?
I'm a guy who's like, hey, if Democrats say something smart, I'm with them. If the Republicans say something smart, I'm with that. But I'm not. But the Republicans haven't said anything smart in my lifetime that I know of. So
how has being a Democrat worked out for you?
I'm here with you.
Okay. How do you want to? I mean, I take that as a compliment. There's a lot of people.
See, me too.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that you know that probably wouldn't look at that as a compliment. Ruthie, how have you benefited from being a Democrat?
So let me tell you why I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat because that is what I thought all black people were supposed to be.
So does Joe Biden.
So growing up, if your whole family, everybody around you, the towns you live in, like if everybody's Democrat,
it's like being folks, right? Being a vice lord.
It has benefited me because it makes me feel like, why do I keep voting for people in mass and I feel like I'm not directly benefiting? So it has really made me wake up to looking at other parties to kind of see like what am I missing. But then when I look, Maze, I say, ooh, I don't know if I can do that.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a time when I literally considered becoming a Republican. I'll be honest with you. And
you thought that was breaking news, right?
I was inviting a meeting. No, I was invited to a meeting. Right? And as I sat in the meeting, I literally was like, do they know I'm at this meeting? Do they like? And I hate that there seems to be that we don't have a choice. Was Herman Cain married to a white woman or a black woman? Can we find that out?
Black. You know I looked it up.
Okay. I'm just okay. So I mean, but therein is another point, right? He didn't go do some of the NBA people that y'all hold up way higher. NFL people that y'all hold up way higher. He did go find him a sister, right? I mean, I'm saying, like, did he have black grandkids? Did he have? So I guess my question is, where do we fit? Because I was just thinking, and I'm a dovetail this out to the Madigan piece. We saw yesterday that Kelly Cassidy came out and called for the direct resignation of Speaker Madigan. We have seen 3 other white women step up in the Democratic Party. You know what? Let me do this. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm gonna ask, hey Google, if you could tell us what the traffic is. Or excuse me, hey Google, can you tell us the weather? And in the meantime, in Chicago, and in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll take a musical break with Sonia. We want to remind you all to check out Reverend Dr. Willie Wilson. Get your supplies. Remember, this episode, this hour has been brought to you by him, as well as, don't forget Kimbark Beverage Shop. Go buy the red, black, and green flag. Google, like, what the heck was you talking about? Hey Google, we'll come back after break.
I'm bringing some tequila next week. We'll all have to take Uber home.
You crazy? You know, my favorite. You know what? One of my, I can't remember who did it. I feel like it was D.L. Hughley, but he was like,
he's funny.
He used to be funny. He ain't as funny as he used to be.
I don't know.
He said, don't drink and drive. How the fuck I'm supposed to get home?
That's how a lot of people think. My mother has heard him a few times, I guess, on the cruise they do out there.
What cruise?
I'm not certain which
Tom
one.
Joyner.
I think it might be Tom Joyner.
Hey man, that Tom Joyner cruise was epic. I ain't gonna even lie. That, and it's like, that cruise, it's like you just be walking down the hall and you bump into people, you be like, wait a minute. Like, I never forget the first day. You remember what's the dude who played Chauncey? He always plays the bad guys with the hair.
I know
Clifton.
who you're talking about.
Is his name Clifton something?
I think you mentioned him the other day.
He got like a really nice smile. I know you
But he got the slick mustache. He always played a gangster. Like, remember, he started out playing a gangster on Rock.
Dang, that's been so long. Was he on? Do you watch the original Gangster? The last OG.
No, I don't watch that.
Man, that's funny. I think he might have been on that show.
The last OG.
No, it's Clifton something. But anyway, I remember we was sitting. Me and Carrie we had to, you go on the cruise. They do the drill in the beginning where you gotta
mustard.
Clifton Powell.
Clifton Powell.
Wait, why I Google Clifton Black Gangster?
And he popped up. Yeah, see?
He played, remember, in he was faggot ass Chauncey in Minister Society.
Oh wow, it's a long time since I
So,
saw that too.
I remember sitting down
when I saw that.
and we was sat down and I was like, wait a minute. That's faggot ass Chauncey. And I was like, but the Tom Joyner cruise was so dope because it was like everybody was there, and it was like, I think he makes them say, like, for your trip you got to take pictures with people. So it was like you'll be sitting there. I never forgot. I went to go eat, and it was Belle Biv DeVoe was in line at the buffet, right? And it's like I spilled the beer on Scarface, and then we wound up kicking it the whole weekend. Him and his fan, that's how we built the relationship. Sherry, I mean, it was crazy.
Over
it was
beer.
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna tell you whose biography you should read. Luther Campbell.
Yeah, he's a smart cat.
Uncle Luke.
Yes, his biography is. I heard him do he was on the show and he did a speech about his book. I mean, man, it's like, and what's so crazy is these guys that made all of that money and now they they settled into like a regular, like, it's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, I mean, because eventually you're not gonna, it's like being an athlete.
Yeah, but his was, he lost his
like
money fighting in the Supreme Court.
Ooh.
He opened for that parental rights and the ability, freedom of speech. Like, he made it possible for rappers. Like, he fought the fight, like, literally at the U.S. Supreme Court and won. But it broke him. You are listening to What's in It for the Black People Radio live on WBGX 1570 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Stroger. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Todd, I asked, were you all proud to be Democrats? Neither one of you gave a rousing...
It's hard to be a black Democrat. It's hard to be a black Democrat.
No, it's not. It seems like it's really easy. Just keep
no
your mouth shut.
Group, in my opinion, that treats black people like they should be. So, you gotta take it for what it is, and you work it the best you can.
That sounds like a prison mentality.
It's almost like you gotta play the cards. It's like, I'm gonna give you these cards. I didn't get to choose the cards. I can't even look at them before I play them. And the Democratic Party, like, here, like I feel like I have no choice. Do I have a choice?
You all realize that 70% of America is still white, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, but not for long, Todd.
No, that not for long is like 20 years from now.
No,
it ain't tomorrow.
No.
Well, it ain't black people.
Once the census data come out, I think that will shift the political landscape again.
It ain't gonna shift the political. It might shift the perception of the political landscape. White people are still gonna write the laws to make sure that they win. That's why Trump is trying to make sure we don't count the Latinos. Now, I'm also suggest that the undocumented immigrants. I'm gonna also suggest that from what I'm hearing with this census, and particularly the poor turnout in Chicago, particularly the ineffective messaging for black folks, we are down. Particularly as Latinos are surging in trying to get theirs, what does this mean for us as black folks going forward with this census? And so, Ruthie, there's an ominous component to the browning of America. I don't think that black birth rates and there's not an influx of black immigration to flood the numbers. So I think we got to be careful about all of that. That's why I'm not necessarily a fan of allocating resources based on undocumented immigration, because then there is a reward for encouraging that. It's part of the reason I'm skeptical of these mail-in ballots, right? I know, don't get me twisted, but in a place like Illinois where they fight to ensure that undocumented immigrants have all of the rights, are they going to toss out those ballots? Or would they say they have a right to vote? I mean, I'm not tripping. I'm saying I can see where a conspiracy and in your desire to destroy Trump, you would go to the ends of the earth, but not necessarily assured how that benefits black people. That's kind of part of the reason why, and even when I listen to the Democratic Party talk, and every time we talk about something, it moves to immigration and why we got to protect our immigrants. And even when you talk about Mayor Lori Lightfoot willing to give up the protection of the city to stop the crime because she was more worried about undocumented immigrants than the people that were being killed in the streets, even turning some of those people against our people. I just got questions. Now, I asked, were you proud to be a Democrat? Particularly in Illinois right now. I'll be honest with you. I must tell you that I am beyond disgusted. Now, let me back up. I want to be clear that since I went to Springfield and realized that people would not look Mike Madigan in the eyes, that like when you went to Saputo's, people were literally trying to be like they were getting acknowledged by the king. I just haven't liked him since that point. I just want to be clear, right? Because I don't believe in kings. I don't believe in looking at any man as though he is greater than a man.
I'm with you.
Minister Farrakhan said, Brother Mays, the Lord has used spittle to wipe the blindness from your eyes. And you don't see trees, you see men. I'll never forget him saying that. There was a lot going on, and he pulled me in and said, brother, your fight is real. I want to give you some counsel. So ever since that moment, and the whole process of making Negroes climb up some back steps, making our black women climb up some steps like they can't come in the front door, right? Like, and you got to climb up a fire escape to go meet and to pledge, and it's all this witchcraft these games that they put people through to slowly test, will you go, like, think about when a mug tells you, I want you to come in through the back door. Mm-hmm. And you accept it. I got you. I want to know, are you proud to be a Democrat right now? Here's what, with everything that's happening with this $200 million scandal, are you proud to be a Democrat right now? Are you proud to know that in the face of this scandal, in the face of the fact that you know that the federal government has named the Illinois Speaker of the House as someone who has been bribed, right? Are you proud to be a Democrat to know that there are only 6 women willing to stand up and say we deserve better? See, I think maybe I'm old school. I think preachers should be held to a higher standard. I do. I don't think that the preacher should be at the club with me. I don't. Now, we've lowered our standards there, and we say they are nothing but men, and they are imperfect, and so we excuse them having pornographic movies and all. The preacher shouldn't look like me. The preacher should, if you should be elevated. You should be working daily towards getting towards perfection towards God. That's how I feel about preachers. I feel about politicians that you have taken an oath of service to do right by not your God, your speaker God, but your people. The fact that black people are last in all 16 economic indicators in Illinois. The fact that everybody, Iris Martinez said it best, everybody knows it happens. Everybody knows it happens, and everybody's sticking their head in the sand. And you know who I talk the most smack about on this joint? Kelly Cassidy.
Wow.
I talk so much smack about Kelly Cassidy because I feel like she hijacked our cannabis. And then she goes and stands up and says, I'm calling for it now.
Man, she's been calling for it for like the last 4 years.
However,
at least.
And she said no, but she's always said, she fell back on the same excuse that all of her colleagues did, which is, if you've been charged, then you should step down. But at a higher standard, at what standard do we expect for ourselves? Now, here's what I'm going to suggest. That the Speaker of the House, the chairman of the Democratic Party of Illinois, is right now embroiled in a scandal in which he is accused of a multi-million-dollar scheme, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Nobody is debating whether he did it. What they are debating is whether you can catch him. Now, I want you to put that, I'm going to use the mayor. Our children are watching. There is not, who do you think will be the first black person in the face of all of this that will say, damn, and in the midst of this, black people, even as we there was not even an insult level of black people to realize that y'all wasn't in none of the conversations. Like, you read all that stuff, it's one black person in the whole joint. Are you proud to be a Democrat in Illinois? Are you? Like, do you go back to your constituents? Because, they said yesterday the speaker got on the phone and he called everybody up and asked them were they with the stuff. Did they feel the same way? I want to know, what did my state rep say? What did my state rep say? What did your state rep say when that phone call came? Did they say they was good with it? I read LaShawn Ford's comments. LaShawn said, Mr. Speaker, if you say that you're innocent, I'm going to say you're innocent. Let me know when you feel guilty, and then I'll change. Huh? Wait.
I don't think that was verbatim, though, huh?
Let's pull it up. Ruthie Moore, can you go get the Chicago Sun-Times article that they talk about it? Because they quote LaShawn. And this is that flippery stuff. This is that slippery politician talk.
You picked the one guy that I know the feds went after, basically because he was an elected official.
Got you. And LaShawn, I'm gonna tell you what, I like LaShawn, but don't get quoted in the paper saying nothing. Don't get quoted in the paper. I love LaShawn, but that's that resolution bullcrap. If you are guilty, you tell me you're guilty, and then I'm gonna tell everybody you're guilty, and no. Stephanie Kifowitz. Play Stephanie Kifowitz.
Documents. It's just simply wrong.
I don't know if it's wrong, but hey, they want to kick him out, they should kick him out.
And so again, where's the black people? I'm asking, are they proud? Like, if you standing with the speaker, stand up and do it proudly. Stand up.
Well, that would mean that there had to be something called, like some kind of vote.
Again, here's the lick. The lick is the speaker's in control of calling the vote.
Not necessarily. If I don't know what the number is now. They kept on making it higher and higher. But let's guess. If 71 people say, I want this called now, they can have something called.
Now let me ask you a question. Black people, are you proud to be a Democrat? Are you proud of what's happening right now? Hey Todd, who's your representative?
My representative is Marcus Evans.
Do you know if, I'm sure he called Marcus Evans. Did Marcus say he was going to support, that he was okay? Is he proud and he's supporting this?
Man, he lives down the street, but we don't live together. I don't know.
Can we call him? This is what I think we need. Marcus. This is what I'm thinking. How about, what if we set up a social
cost benefit? What were you talking about yesterday?
No, I don't even want to do cost benefit analysis.
Oh, okay.
This is what I want to do. I want to have I want to create a roster, like a roll call, and I want to get the speaker said he called all the representatives up and they all with him. They don't have a problem with it. I don't know if I trust the speaker. I feel like we should maybe call all the legislators. Like, could we get a phone tree? Could we call them and do them on the phone? Like, could we call people live and ask them where they stand? Can you call your own legislator? Ruthie, who's your state rep?
Same. Me and Todd don't live far from each other.
Oh. So why don't y'all take some time today and ask y'all? And then what we should do is we should publish the list of everybody who wants to support the speaker through this situation. And I think they should stand up. Don't do it in the dark. Stand up and tell all the black people why you don't think we deserve a better government. Because I want you to be clear. He's the chairman of the Democratic Party of Illinois. So I asked y'all, was y'all proud to be Democrats? We got the Speaker of the House thing. That's one thing, right? But do you really want to go to the national forefront being led by a person who is accused of extorting one of the largest public, being bribed by? That is, we know people are getting tossed right now. See, I think that we got to put some pressure on the situation. See, you got what happens is all of the legislators get to do this in anonymity. So what I think the black people need to do is call up all the members of the Black Caucus and say, do you support it? Then let me tell you what you need to do. Because, see, this is what everybody else going to do. They're going to hide behind the fact that I ain't got nothing to do with the rest of it, right? Then what you need to do is you need to call the rest of the black elected officials, all members of the Democratic Party of Illinois, every black elected official from the rooter to the tutor. You need to ask them, do they support the speaker staying in charge of Chicago, of Illinois, and representing us nationally? Just think, the face of the Democratic Party of Illinois going into y'all want to vote. Do you know what he told us? He said he's going to continue to lead the fight against Trump and lead us to victory in the fight against Trump. Can I ask a question? See how I did this? You see, I kind of breadcrumb y'all. Remember I asked y'all earlier this week, who has hurt black people more? Mike Madigan or Donald Trump? Remember I asked y'all that question? Yeah.
Where do you live?
Remember I asked you? And remember how that answer went? And now, let me tell you what he came back to y'all with. He said, I got it. I know what I'm going to get of Negroes. Trump! So now, because did you see his response? His response was, I polled my members. So I called you up to say, hey man, you plotting against me? Sure, sir, I'm plotting against you.
They probably would say something more like, are you with me?
And so if they answered yes, if you answered yes,
but I would think there'd be more. He probably wouldn't just say that.
Oh no, you should read the comments and read.
He probably would say, I am not guilty. Are you with me?
I got you.
Then you gotta,
And then you gotta remember you walked up them back steps. You gotta remember you already bowed down. You gotta remember you already gave up your manhood or your masculinity.
Oh, let me first say that most people never go up those back steps.
Most elected officials do.
Most state reps don't go up those back steps.
Most people,
if they want to see the speaker, they go over to the speaker's office and say, I want to see the speaker.
Let's back up. Most state reps who are appointed state reps or win their position before they take their seat go walk their ass up them back steps. Tell me I'm lying.
I don't know.
Okay, I do.
Because I ain't 22 people and you ain't either.
But I tell you
so
what.
So you don't know.
I do.
No, you don't.
Oh, yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I know the ones that did.
Oh, no, that did. Ruthie, break the tie.
I know you were.
Well, I would like to see some receipts.
Okay, so here's the thing. I remember he didn't even know about the back steps.
I didn't say that. I've been up the back steps, but not when I was a rep.
So here's my point. So what were you up?
Everybody had to go up the back steps if they wanted to see him at the ward office. The front steps was with the
where they made where the white people. It was the white only entrance.
What Mays Wells knows, that's where the Lithuanians came in to get their training on how to be citizens. Nobody went in that way.
Todd, you asked me to break the tie. I'm going to have to side with Mays on this.
Oh, what are you siding with?
I'm siding with, I don't want to say the N word, using the back steps.
Yep.
I believe
he already.
So you think only black people went up the back steps? That
No, that's not what he said. What he said was there was some type of process where you had to, pretty much, I ain't gonna say pledge your life away, but basically it was on some other stuff that's going to make a really good made-for-TV movie one day that Mays is going to write about.
He should write it because he's writing a soap opera right now.
I'm suggesting this. You call it soap opera. I'm suggesting I want somebody to call me and tell me there ain't no back steps. And here's what I'm gonna even tell you. Todd even further reiterated my point.
I've seen Madigan go down those stairs.
They his damn steps. Now, but the point that I would bring up is, even as we had this conversation, Todd said that he had to go up the back steps when he wasn't a rep. So now, when you ain't under his control, why are you going up the back steps?
Okay, Todd, why did you go up the back steps?
I went up the back steps because I was like, I know you're there. I didn't call him and tell him I was coming. I was like,
he had to sneak.
I'm going to trap you.
Now, just let me tell you. Ain't no white county board, state rep, nobody who ever gave him they votes that was white or they kids had to sneak.
I didn't say I was sneaking. I was like, I know he's there. I'm going to go see him. I didn't say I called him and he didn't call me back.
Tripping.
I said, I just know he's there.
And I'm just saying.
And I wasn't the county board president either.
Okay. I'm not tripping. You feel me though, right? I ain't got to say too much. I just love keep talking.
Well, you know, that's the way people do when they want to make a story. You don't say a lot because you don't know a lot. You say a little and you want people's imagination to run.
Oh.
Did I imagine the steps?
What the steps look like? Are they metal?
It's
or
a
like
fire
they are metal?
step.
They got the little holes in them. Like
Metallic marble.
I need a visual.
So all I'm suggesting, guys, when we come back, I just want to know how do we find out where our state reps and state senators are? Because Todd said you asked. They said what he asked in the paper. We can find it.
Yeah, they did. I saw that somewhere.
And it was a very simple question. It's like in or out, basically.
That was the Sun Times?
I believe it's Sometimes or Tribune. But the fact of the matter is where do the black legislators stand? Like white women about to save the day, but can I also tell you what white women are doing?
White women ain't saving the day.
What?
They sure ain't saving it for you.
What? Don't care.
I told y'all 2 weeks ago that white women are going to be important in deciding the trajectory of the nation.
The enemy
they
of
always
my
are.
The enemy
they
of my enemy.
Tell us what they're doing.
Just like they voted for Trump. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Now I'm going to say just like this.
So they stab you.
Right. That's why you gotta be prepared. That's why you gotta have a strategy. Right? Now, here's what we gonna do.
What we gonna do?
Watch as these white women.
The question. What we gonna do?
Watch as these white women get ready to name the next speaker. Because here's what I think everybody has come to the conclusion of. Right? That even if he makes it through the election, when it's time to go back to vote, he's not gonna have his votes. Now.
Okay, it says LaShawn Ford said. And the point I made
get to talk to the mic, Todd.
And the point I made to him is
start at what he said the first part. Read the first part of the article. Right.
Says,
Let's do this, Todd. Take a break, and then when we come back, we'll have it all together.
No, that doesn't work.
All right, we'll be back after Sonia's mix.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Ruthie, I need you to do some.
We'll be back after this break.
Oh no, I can do that. It's just a simple, just kind of like.
You gonna zoom in on it?
Yeah, just zoom in. Oh, it's got Maze's name on there. Maze loves the white women. Not that.
There go your 3 years. Ruthie, go ahead. I'm gonna deal with Todd. I just dealt with Todd. Todd 3 years just went away. I had a solution for him. He just killed it. Right? Go to Ruthie. You got
Ain't
social
Maze a hater?
Social media.
Listen. All right. So social. Let's start at the top. Good morning, everyone. So taking it a little bit back to John Lewis while Todd get the reading together. Sandra said John Lewis was instrumental in the crime bill and the Equality Act for LGBTQ. Constance said he represents civil rights for black people in the 60s.
60s, shoot.
She said the 60s.
Even now. Shoot, they'd have us on, me and you would be out working the field right now.
All right, I got a question. Can black people have a political party? Like, can
you mean it's just black people?
Just all black people.
You can have it, but you know, as you well know, you can never get all of nobody's.
What about just a different? What about a different political party in the United States? Like something not like the Green
Ruthie,
Party.
You can't get the black people to get in the parties that are already formed. How about making a new one that people are going to be?
But it's probably because if you black, you are disgruntled Democrat. If you're a Republican and you black, it's like So it's like you have no. What are the other options? Like you necessarily can't be independent. So what can you do? Like I feel like I don't have an option.
Well, see, the problem, in my opinion, is there's not enough people. There's not enough black people. We're only like, what is it, 14% of the nation?
Okay.
So, you know, let's say you got 8% to cooperate with you. That's just not enough people to make a dent. We have a hard time making a dent with all the black people that vote Democrat at one time.
Good point.
If there were more of us, I would say that would be good.
If you said there was another one?
No, if there were more black people.
Gotcha.
I would be all okay.
What about if black people all started voting Republican? You think that would have, what type of impact would that have? If all the black people said, let's just all be Republican. Let's try
for the masses, nothing.
Nothing. Because
the Republicans, they have a platform, and their platform doesn't include helping black people, in my opinion.
So what's the hope? We ain't no hope. Like, we just got to stay Democrats.
There is hope. The hope is that, we could go and vote. The hope is that no matter what we do, we help each other first. This is you missed Maze and I talking about that this week, I guess. My thing is, if black people, and I don't care which way they voted, but if black people actually voted and supported their representatives, shoot, the whole world would change for us.
I think the representatives got to show that they want your support. Like, the representatives don't do, like, I feel like you got a chicken and the egg. I feel like most of the representatives get appointed. So when they get appointed, they lose their sense of accountability to their account. When you get appointed, your accountability no longer is to your voters. And if you get appointed and then you never have a race, you never feel a reason to come back. Like, so think about every person that's gotten appointed. I mean, who's been elected to their spot?
So is it really the Democratic Party that's the problem, or is it the black elected officials that we elect within the Democratic Party?
I think we...
Or, you skipped the third part. Or is it the people themselves that's the problem?
Like the people...
I think the people is the... We got callers?
Well, probably more of the ones who don't vote, but them too.
You have callers?
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's what I was telling. What I think I said this while you were here one day. What made Rahm Emanuel when he got to Congress was he was able to call on people and...
Okay, come on. We're about to come back.
Tell me some black people who can do that. If they called you up, you'd be like, why?
Todd. This is What's in for the Black People Radio. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, who clearly was not paying attention to the signals that Sonia was giving us.
I can't see Sonia.
He was busy. You can't even see your phone. You can't even see your phone. You be like, what? Why? Todd, so let's start with what LaShawn Ford said.
Okay, so the beginning of the article just kind of like lays out that Madigan has been implicated in a bribery scheme with Commonwealth Edison. And then it says that he was making like a straw poll, or as we call a roll call.
He was punking mugs, basically.
He called everyone and asked if they had confidence in him. And LaShawn Ford said he just wanted to know if I was with him. And the point I made to him is that if you say you're innocent, then I am with you.
Okay, what does that tell? Okay, so I asked you, is the feds lying on you? Well, I guess LaShawn has a good reference point, though. Because LaShawn got lied on by the feds and won.
Right.
Shout out to Alicia for helping him out with that. But I think to ask Madigan, are you stealing our money? You're not stealing it? It's like asking the fox in the hen house, are you eating these chickens?
Yeah, but...
No feathers. Don't mind them.
The case against him is he stealing our money? So...
See?
That wouldn't work.
I just need to
be... The case is, did you take a bribe? No, wait a minute. No, they took a bribe.
They bribed him. They were giving the bribe. Did you procure the bribe? Do you understand how crazy this freaking sounds? I just want y'all to understand, like, the madness of the even trying to explain this. Just the madness of trying to explain why you're trying to justify what happened. And I'm not saying you. I'm saying that what did your state rep say? I want to know what Omar said. I want to know what Lakeisha Collins said. See, if you're a new legislator...
He must have got 59 people to say we're with you.
Well, okay, I got you. He got them to say it to him. But what they gonna say when your constituent call you and ask you? Is this true? See, that's my thing. Like, and remember my point. if you have been appointed to your position and you never had to run for it, and you were thought or you were given the perception that the only way you...
I think what you mean is you never had a candidate running against you, because everybody's got to run.
No, but when you were appointed... Okay, I got you. Yeah, you're right. But usually this is how it happens. You get appointed, like they know somebody's going to leave, so instead of leaving it to chance, instead of opening it up to the masses, right, what they do is they appoint the next person, giving them a leg up, giving them all of the lobbyists, all the relationships, and then that person can put up $200,000, $300,000 to win a race, and then you don't really have competition. Or they take Mike.
That's a lot of money.
But what happens is what happens is if they can't get you, if they can't eliminate your opponent, then they give you as much money as they need to get you elected, because remember, everything you vote on makes millions of dollars.
Yes, but you also have to remember that in the city, they're like, man, I'm not giving you that kind of money.
Because whatever Negro runs,
because whoever comes is going to be a Democrat.
But however, I think that sometimes happens. I think when there are, there's
Barbara Flynn Curry.
If there's
all the money she needed,
or if there is a race where they feel like if Marcus was to have a real competitor, they would spend whatever they needed to. Now they get it back in votes, and they make sure, and all of the and not just him, the lobbyists, ComEd, AT&T, all of the people that are part of the ecosystem that protects this insulated system, all then kick in. So it ain't they give you. What happens is AT&T calls Mike Noonan and says, hey, what we want you to do is do a mail program for all of the black state reps, and you can make the money on the mail program. They don't even get to pick the person that does the mail for them, and we keep the money in the cycle. That's what happens.
Okay, so Maze.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a tangible, right? So if I was to want to call my state rep Marcus, tell me the question. What am I supposed to say? Hey, did you go up the back steps?
No.
Give me the question.
I think the simple question is, Representative Evans, do you support Speaker Madigan, and will you vote for him to be reelected?
Do you support Speaker Madigan, and will you vote for him to be reelected?
Speaker, yes.
Got it.
And I think you start putting them on the spot. See, the issue is...
How do you know that Ruthie doesn't want the speaker to be reelected? You didn't even ask her what else.
She asked me one question. And I'm asking, and here's what I want to know. What black people do want him to be reelected? Who? Todd, you want him to be reelected?
I don't know who's running.
Okay, see, there you go. Right?
I mean, I don't want just anybody.
I'm not sure. I mean, right. Can I tell you what? I would take just anybody. Because guess what? He wouldn't have the same power. And you could play games. You could move around. Right now, it's ironclad. It's like, it's just like why I say you could work around Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the easiest person to deal with to me in the world.
Is there anything Mike Madigan could do that would shift the tide if he just gave black people something?
That's
when you say shift the tide.
Like for us to be like, okay, he cool.
Oh.
He good.
Well, I'm saying, here's the thing. I think...
Well, he can't do anything unilaterally, I don't think.
Okay, ask comment. So what I would suggest is that you have to then ask if your state legislator supports Mike Madigan, or if they say, what did you get to support him? What did you get? Like, I'm
going to tell you right now, he's going to have an answer for you.
Right. And I'm saying he better have an answer. But was it the answer for him, or was it for the community? And I'm saying, not in your career. What did he give you to make you say you're going to support him through this in spite of? And I'm suggesting that I
don't think any legislator would say something like, well, he helped me get a car. It's not going to say nothing like that.
But can I tell you what? That's the problem. He did. Right? That's the problem. He did. Right? It's like the problem is he also got you the fake degree. Right? They got the process where they send you, like, they pick the least educated, not the least educated, but they say, okay, this is what we're going to do. You don't have a degree? It's okay, don't worry. We're going to put you through the package, and here they give you the package.
Sounds to me like Mays doesn't like black people.
No, I'm saying that's the I'm suggesting that. Can I suggest this? I'm suggesting that they pick the most pliable people, right? When you are selected,
well played, Mays.
When you select the person, right? You don't want the person that's gonna think. You want the person. You don't need them to think. You don't want the guy that went to college that had a finance degree to be over the economics. You want that person to go to college, to high school. And you want them to have home ec as their reference point so that when you pass the law...
Hey, home ec is actually really important.
I think so too. Especially if you... Except for when you're trying to build economic development for your community.
Hey, y'all, would you like the next speaker to be weak or strong?
Weak. This is the Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back.
What about you? What do you think?
That's a good one. I mean, considering that the power that Mike Madigan has amassed and the way that he's been able to wield it and the way that has affected black people, I think we might need weak just so we can see how to sort of like break down some of that power and put it back into the hands of, I don't know where it's supposed to go though. Is it supposed to go to this, like, I don't know where that power is. I think that there should be war.
Right, I think it doesn't disappear.
Yeah, so I don't know where to go.
I think it dissipates. I think it spreads out. Now, it'll take a speaker 10 years to get it back, to try and get it. And I think what you do is you develop the Black Caucus. Like in that process, you weed out the Black Caucus and you get yourself a new Black Caucus, right? Of warrior trained people. Ooh. Like, my premise is you get a weak speaker. And in the process, you make your caucus strong. And then you get your caucus to a point of strength where they just an unbreakable block. And the speaker always has to come to that group. Always. And if you don't, you can't put the shit together. Or you got to go talk to the Republicans. And let the Black Caucus be a standalone, like, yeah, we Democrats when it's convenient. Same thing that happened in Baltimore.
But we black.
We black first. Right? Like, the problem is, it's like these niggas are like straight, like, seriously. The problem is that when you ask them what they got for it, it's going to be personal. It's not going to be, I delivered for my community. Why he got a mug is because now he made you a property tax consultant. Right? So now, to supplement your $70,000 a year job, I'm going to give you $50,000 over here with one of the dudes that I got raping us when I take these $250 million savings out of these buildings. So now every
nobody's gonna say that.
Nobody's gonna say it, but here's the deal.
Nobody will say
it, but that's what it is, right? It's like, so here's what you got. What you got is he loads up with the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association. He takes the lawyers that are state legislators and says, look, I'll put you with a law firm. That law firm will not have you do actual work. What they're going to do is make you chase deals, right? You're going to do business development. Now, if I show up to the meeting with a state legislator or a state rep, right, that's changing the whole thing. Now, they're going to say, I'm not a state legislator. I'm not a state rep. No, nigga, I just saw you on TV. You're a state legislator. You're a state rep. Oh, you're on the deal? Well, now I know I'm going to get favorable treatment because I got this lawyer. So I do that to every law firm. Then I take every deal, I spread it out amongst the law firms. Now I got my people in all those places. Right? So now the Negroes that ain't lawyers, now because you ain't a lawyer because you didn't finish college, this is what we're going to do. We're going to send you to Chicago State. Right? You didn't finish college. We're going to send you to Chicago State. We're going to send you to Northeastern. We're going to send you one of these places. We're going to get you an expedited degree, right? It's going to be School Without Walls or something along those lines. We'll get you your college degree so can't nobody say you ain't got it, right? Now I can't question you no more about your education, and now you locked in.
Can we play that same game?
Yeah, we can play the same game, but we don't have, like, again, if he puts his person at every choke point, right? So at at Chicago State, the top lobbyist at Chicago State is his guy. The government affairs guy is his guy, right? So now you don't have the infrastructure to say, take my Ruthie Moore expedite her process and go. They already got it. They don't got to talk about it. They say we got another one. Then you just go in the machine. We don't have that infrastructure set up.
Wow. Okay.
So
it's a whole lot of roads that need to be built.
Well, that's my point. My point is, understand that they have a black program, right? I told you, Vic used to say, our goal is to find the dumbest person to put in the position. Because they will always vote. That is why they loved Esther Golar. Esther Golar loved her to death, but you used to hear how they would talk about her behind the scenes. Like, we made her, she'll vote anyway. We tell her on whatever we tell her to vote.
What
now,
you think, Todd?
she was a beloved state rep.
What do you think about what?
The speaker. You think we shouldn't be a weakened position? You say keep it.
Or put it weak or strong?
Yeah, I'm just curious. What's your opinion?
Normally, after people have been kind of bullied, they will pick a weaker person. But then, in that, I think, will they be able to do what you asked of them, though?
See, I think you take the power out of the speaker, and you start making your caucus force the issue. And you make the speaker bend to your demand because he can't get shit else done without you unless you give us this. Right? And whether it's, and I'm going to tell you now, right now, nobody black stepping up when the choice comes around, they're losing their position of strength. Like, I would have just sent one of the least seniority members to say, we got his back. And then I'd say, man, I call for the resignation too. So we got a knife we're in the game. Right? And then as the floodgates go, then you can go behind that and you got your senior member saying, you can't touch him.
Can't touch that.
You can't touch him, you can't touch her. And if our young people feel like they want to talk, they could talk. And then you get Kim Lightford to say, as the chairman of the Black Caucus, anything that happened to these mugs, we taking it personal.
Wow.
No, what they want to do is give your ass a resolution.
I agree with Mace that if you don't have a candidate, then how you gonna to get anything?
Like nobody
will take you seriously,
right?
They don't, because they're like, well, we didn't need you,
right? And what's happening is the white women. Let me tell you what. When them 4 white women went, they done talked to all the other women.
You know it.
And so it's finna be a drip.
They even talked to the black women.
Huh?
They even talked to the black women. They talked to all women when they talk.
And guess what though? Black women like, shit, it's nice in this motherfucking house. You see all these bells I got on my skirt? I got fancy ruffles, clean drawers. Well, you know, in the field, your drawers get sweaty quick. Looking at the generation, feeling hopeless. My eyes open, ain't no hocus pocus, ain't no hocus pocus. They will all know us. put you down. You're beautiful inside. Hey, rise up, rise up. Don't you know? Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is What's in It for the Black People Radio, live on WBGX, 1570 AM. Now, let me tell you, I forgot. Y'all can get us on. You can get us on TuneIn, the TuneIn app. Go to the Google Play Store. Go to the App Store. Now, you can also watch the live. Check us out. Ruthie said the graphics are pretty live on
YouTube.
On YouTube.
My sister told me.
She was watching. I like the graphics.
Shout out to Asia.
Hey, Asia. She from Pembroke too?
It's Pembroke.
Man,
Brook. Hopkins Park. Sign in. Moments, Kankakee.
Hey, what about Aroma Park?
You know, that's a little bit more conservative.
Yeah,
but
know,
I rep at Aroma Park.
Aroma Park, you know, that's why I went to camp at every year.
Really?
Yeah, that's where Nazarene Church Camp is. Because, you know, I wanted to go to Olivet.
Okay. I know a few Olivet grads.
I went to Olivet. I wanted to go there before they even let black people go. Right? Yeah, I know I'm a Nazarene. You know, I went to the Church of the Nazarene, so I was a Christian. You know,
I went on a ski trip with the Nazarene Church one time.
Really?
I've never been again.
I'm going to tell you. So you went on the Nazarene. So which church?
It was the Olivet Church of the Nazarene.
So I knew the Pastor E. Keith Bottles, the district director. So, you know, my family's job was to be the black missionaries for Nazarenes.
Listen,
to
they
teach
have a network.
Oh, no, bro. Sis, I'm telling you. Being a Nazarene, I almost want to go back just for the network. They had colleges. They had, that's where I learned. I think that's my problem. I started out at the white church, and then I saw, the black pastors. At the white church, the pastor drove a Dodge Omni. Right? It was the Dodge version of a Chevette.
Oh yeah, no, I know the Omni.
And
it's a hatchback.
Right. And it was, it was the parsonage and everybody was humble and the pastor, then I got to the church. I was like, why you got a Cadillac? Dang, now they be like, the pastors, when you go to the pastor breakfast, they be like, I got a foreign man. I need them tithes. I had to pay this $1,800 a month car. I was like, you pay $1,800?
$1,800 a month?
I talked to a preacher, man. I'm telling you, some days I'll be like, yeah. Now, Minister Mays, he ain't ready yet. He ready. He gonna come. But Minister Mays, he is not ready. Todd. Minister, I'm having a...
Well, Ruthie's the new member, so she got to give the love off.
Listen, 10% of nothing is
nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. All right. Why my old man used to make us tithe 50%? Because he was the pastor. Woo, covered by the cash. All right. Well, I'm gonna read this tweet to you, and we gonna have a little fun. I am happy to inform the people living their suburban lifestyle dream that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low-income housing built in your neighborhood. It was a tweet by Donald Trump that I saw on fire on social media. People were like, look at this racist. He is such a dog. Look, I saw all the white people.
When I first saw this
to the mic.
When I first saw the real Donald Trump tweet, I was like, somebody's made a fake account.
So, I'm going to say that this tweet is kind of the essence to me of why I feel like Donald Trump is gonna win.
Can we break the tweet down a little bit, Maze?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, break it down.
He said, I am happy to inform all of the people living their suburban lifestyle dream.
Now who? Okay, go ahead.
He capitalized suburban lifestyle dream.
Okay, what do you take from that?
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about.
He's talking about white. He could have just put white.
I beg to differ.
If he would have put the American dream.
No, I beg to differ.
What you think, Maze?
So
Maze and the other 5 people from Bolingbrook are getting upset.
No, I'm not. Not at all. And I'm not upset. First of all, this is why I again think that Donald Trump is not as crazy as people think. And I'm going to encourage you all to go to my Facebook page, and I'm going to rewrite this, right? So this essentially says to everybody who moved to get away from crime. See, suburban lifestyle to me means you tried to move away from crime. You tried to move away from litter. You tried to move away from people selling rocks and blows at your gas station. You wanted to go to a place where you didn't have to parallel park, where you did not have to, your school choice was not between failure and, I know a lot of people that have moved to the suburbs that are black for all of the same, to live their suburban lifestyle dream. I think the inference, and I think it's very easy to make the jump that that's white. It is. And I'm not going to say that he didn't mean white. But what I'm going to also say is there are plenty, I think of, so I then took this and I said, let me take it back because it's Donald Trump. Finish breaking down the tweet though. Go ahead.
All right. After suburban lifestyle dream, it says that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low income housing built in your neighborhood. ... He put the ellipses at the end.
What does the ... mean?
Exactly. It means to be continued.
Okay, so now let me break this down for you real quick. And I'm going to tell you this is a testy conversation. So first of all, I got to give a big shout out to Tamiko Hope, who has really enlightened me on Section 8, public housing, all of that good stuff. But I also think about being in the 6th Ward office with when Fredrina Lau was holding on. And I remember people coming in all the time talking about Section 8. Residents moving into their neighborhoods.
Nothing's changed.
And that they brought down the neighborhood. This was in Chicago. Okay?
Right.
Then I thought about when I was the chief of staff in the 18th Ward. And when I was the chief of staff in the 18th Ward, we had, with the foreclosure, there was a lot of Section 8 that was opened up in the 18th Ward. And as the chief of staff, every day I had black people coming to my office telling me we don't want any more Section 8 residents. I lobby for some large developers. They fight putting affordable housing in their units. They fight there. Now there's a difference between low income and affordable is what I'm learning. But they fight.
Affordable isn't always affordable.
They fight to fight against affordable and low income housing in their neighborhoods in Chicago. I think about Beverly. There's no Section 8 in Beverly. Right? There's just not. You can't even find a house on sale because they won't even put a for sale sign in the lot. You got to tell, and they put in the Beverly Review, and then you look in there, or somebody say, "Psst, that house on sale." I think about Jackson. I think about Jackson Park and South Shore, and I think about the people who lived in South Shore 10 years ago, who were screaming that their neighborhoods were being dragged down by affordable, or not affordable, but by low income housing. Then I want to encourage you all to go to my Facebook page. Because I said black people, because I said I know a lot of black people who don't want affordable or low income anywhere near them. And are they racist too? One comment in particular jumped out at me. Right? And when I say it jumped out at me, it jumped out at me. It said, hold on, and I'm going to get it. And I think there's a lack of understanding about affordable and low income housing, but I do also think Like, I think that there are negative components to it, and I don't think that it's just Donald Trump being racist. I think there are people who really feel like they don't want. Here's what Calvin A. Bart said. I'm going to read to you what he said when it comes to, and he's a Chicago resident. Property values drop. Snowball lady magically appears. Crackhead uncle moves in. Loud music played all night. Grass never cut. Hoes start sleeping with married men on the block. Lace outfits become the norm. 3 broke down cars in the driveway. I say no too. I think about the first time I saw somebody walking through the neighborhood with a bonnet. I think about when I lived in Bolingbrook and we moved there, and I think about how Bolingbrook changed when we got a tremendous amount of Section 8, right? And it was like the dynamics changed. I remember I told y'all like everybody in Bolingbrook was called themselves, they was folks or vice lord or something, but everybody grew up together. And then remember I told you like when I got to high school that like it was like real lines drawn, and it was like people you grew up with. I remember
you saying there was a guy and he was like, y'all can't be acting like this.
Right. I mean, we had a guy that was a Mickey Cobra that came to live in Bolingbrook, and it was like we was at White Castle, and there's like my friends, like some of my friends was this, some of my friends was that, and he just couldn't handle it and just went crazy, and we was like, dog, you come out here with that, you're gonna get your head busted in, and all of us from the crib are gonna beat you down. Right. But over time, those lines started to get hardened, and brothers that grew up together picked the different sides, and it was like real.
Right.
How racist was what he said?
It was kind of full of stereotypes.
Stereotypes, true or not?
Well, I think affordable housing and things like that should be a right. I think people have a right to be able to afford shelter. And so, just as a homeowner, I think there is always strife between what we perceive to be how renters treat property and how homeowners treat property.
I disagree with just renters, though. I think there are. So can I say this? I have come to the recognition, and I actually learned this. It really hit home with my sister and my son staying at my sister's house. My son did not know how to cut grass. Right? Now, for me, I was cutting grass at 10 years old. He had never started a lawnmower, and he had never cut grass. And I'm kind of like, how is that possible? But then I thought about it like, I don't have to cut grass here at my house where I live. Mm-hmm. And when I lived with him, he was either too young or we hired a service. So if I never learned how to cut grass, then how am I going to know to cut grass when I get a house? If it always magically happened, right? If it was always I don't think that people always know how to be integrated into a neighborhood. Carrie was telling me when they first moved in on their block, Superintendent Hilliard, who was a police officer, he wasn't superintendent at that time, said they knocked on the door. They was like, welcome. They seen him with all the kids. And was like, this is how we kind of operate in our neighborhood. We cut our grass. We don't take our garbage out the front door. You got some badass kids, we will tell on them. And there was an understanding. I don't know if everybody even knows how to... Like, when I see somebody just throw something out the window... I get mad, but I was thinking like, who taught you That it's okay just to throw, or who never said don't throw stuff out on the window?
Yeah.
I think what President Trump said reflects the opinions of a lot of people. He just said it in an ignorant way. And I think the people who I just feel like people the people who agree with that ain't gonna say it out loud. Because
I don't know about that, because I still go to community meetings and beat meetings, and people still complain. But what you find is that like half of the people that they think are Section 8, they really are. They actually bought the house. They're just not taking care of it.
I mean, who even knows how to take care of a house? Can I tell you something? Like, I was just thinking, like, how many black young men learned how to use a screwdriver? Like, I literally am now going backwards with my kid. I feel like this is a Phillips screwdriver. This is a flathead screwdriver. This is a drill. This is a hammer. This is how you use the hammer. This is how you use the drill. This is how you change a light switch. This is how you fix a pipe. Because I'm suggesting that a lot of our people with a lack of ownership or a lack of are dumped in, and it turns into kind of a clash of situations. You know who has a really good movie about this? Mark Harris. And I think it was is it White People Money? I can't think of what the name of the movie is, but he did it, and Simeon Henderson is in it, but it's about the bougie black people in a black neighborhood, and the new family moves in, and they braid their hair in the front yard, and they got homies, and nobody ever talks to them. They just start plotting around them instead of saying, hey. And I think we got to get back to somewhere being able to talk to each other. Because I know, like, the feeling is when you got some, like, it used to be you tell on the badass kids. Not the badass kids dare you to tell. They'll shoot your house up.
That's awful.
Ruthie, what? And so even with affordable housing, so Tamiko Holt hit me up.
Isn't affordable housing like $180,000 or something? That's something high. I'm like, that's affordable?
Can I tell you?
For who?
Right. Well, that's what Tamiko Holt says. Affordable housing, but affordable for who? Todd, I was going to tell you, did you know I lived in affordable housing? I did. And there's a lot of people that live in affordable housing that thought they was coming up. And it was never positioned to me as affordable housing. I lived in Hyde Park in, what's the two, right off of 47th? Anyway, I lived in the Twin Towers right off of 47th. It's like 48th. I lived at 4800 South Lake Park. And I'll never forget when I first came to Chicago.
Oh, is that right next to the Bally's? Well, what used to be
Bally's is on the other side of it. Bally's on 47th. It's up on 48th. They got those nice townhouses, and then Lake Park. I can't remember. 4800 South Lake Park. Mm-hmm. And there's two buildings. And I'll never forget this woman who we thought was making all this money, and she was balling. She used to hang out with Scottie Pippen, had clothes and jewelry and all this stuff. And she was like, hey, y'all, I got a 2-bedroom apartment for $800 a month. And that would be, and I was only making like $1,600 a month. So
you were subleasing?
No, it was an affordable housing unit in that building. And what happened was it faced the lake. You had it was big, spacious, the whole thing. But it was
the lake for $800.
Exactly, 2 bedrooms, and it was affordable. And Harper Square. And I had no clue I was living in affordable housing. I thought I was living, and then you realize, wait a minute, because I would talk smack like, man, your neighbor was like, you live in affordable housing, right? And I just think that affordable housing is necessary.
Ain't stopping me. Man, look at that lake.
That's what I used to wake up and be like, look at that lake.
Yeah.
But I think we got to have a real conversation around affordable housing. You said you got a call? Let's go to the live line. Let's see if we can hear them. Caller, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. Go ahead, caller. We can hear you. Hello? What's up, Ron?
ward, and I'm in the 8th ward. But what I don't understand, when people see other ways of how people live, how do you have your grill in front of the house? How you hang garbage, plastic bags? So you know what? I don't mind seeing it. That I don't want it in my neighborhood, and it's not my responsibility. These people have not been taught the proper way. But then, if you're not being taught, you look around. No one else is doing that. I mean, you're not taking care of your children. They're running up and down. So, you know what? That like you say, maybe we need to have a council. Because Section 8 destroyed South Shore. Definitely Chatham and some parts of as Todd, some parts of the 8th ward. I don't want them near me. So have a good weekend, guys.
All right. Dang, Salim says some of Chicago's leading drug entrepreneurs lived in 4800. Dang, in Harper Square. Dang, Salim. Salim is a professional, man.
What about these major property management companies within the city that buy up a whole bunch of property on the south and west sides, and then they rent them out to certain elements, as we can call them, and then the property management companies don't really do the proper upkeep?
I think I think that's all part of what happens in our neighborhoods. We don't have a standard, right? So it's like they don't care. They don't live there.
And what's wrong with people? If people don't have...
Look at Ruthie, man!
Because I think that teeters a line of like what I deem to be like respectability politics, which is like kind of like a generational thing in some sense. But if people don't have the proper green space, like parks and things like that, like in proximity to where they live in an overcrowded housing, where else they supposed to barbecue at?
No backyard.
Ain't no backyards.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes there are no backyards.
Where?
In a lot of these apartment complexes, these big courtyards.
That's why they got the porch.
They don't have porches.
Ruthie.
I'm telling you, on my block, I see people barbecuing. I say, why y'all barbecuing right there in the middle of Drexel Boulevard? But it's because they...
Oh, no, that's different to me.
But I'm saying a lot of people don't have backyards. You're not supposed to barbecue on your decks or your patios. Let people barbecue if they want to barbecue. Mm-hmm. You can't go... It ain't like we can go to the beach. Let the people barbecue.
Okay, so I'm just saying. Look, it was too funny. I had to put the camera on you because your face was changing.
Just when people always talk about people barbecuing, I get it. Like, I understand, like, the way that it looks. I get it. But that is a tactic that they used to use back in the day for black people not to be able to gather together.
I think you're taking it. I'm not going there. Let me just say, I'm not going there.
Let them barbecue.
No, I mean, let them barbecue and there's a park. And so use a park. I'm saying Drexel Boulevard.
They ain't got no car to lug the grill and the charcoal.
Hey, man. I'm just telling you. Then you got to move. So here's me. I think you have to respect where you move. Now, if you move, I used to say this all the time. What would happen all the time is these white kids would go to a club down by Lake Street, right? They would find out about the neighborhood, and then they would move into the Lake Street corridor, and then complain about the clubs in the Lake Street corridor.
Yeah.
Right? So let's be clear that you move to a neighborhood and you drive through the neighborhood and you say it's nice. I'll take calls. And you say it's nice. And then so you move there because it's nice, but because it's nice because they follow a set of rules for years. Right? They do cut their grass, and everybody knows that by Friday your grass got to be cut. They don't have parties in the front yard because, man, they know it's going to trample the grass, and when you ride by and don't nobody want 300 people in front of their house, because when you have a party in front, nobody stays on their lawn. They flow on to the next lawn, to the next lawn, to the next lawn. Now,
or a party in the garage that lasts till like 2 a.m.
And then I got to come outside and be like, could you get off? I got to be a jerk. Because you standing on my grass that I spend my time growing. I want nice things. And I think like there's this premise that we can't want to have nice things and keep it up. And sometimes you just can't do what you want to do.
Right.
You don't always have the right to just come and disturb the ecosystem. Now, you want to go to a place where they barbecue in the front yard, you know you don't need to look at one of those blocks where they got a sign that say no ball playing, no blah blah blah, no blah. When I moved into my complex, It's rules, right? The only time I've had a violation of the rules, the only time, is when the black. Well, no, I take that back. The white people with their dogs, which they feel like dogs are people, so I'm gonna have to hurt somebody's dog. And the black people putting their garbage in my can.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Now, and when I mentioned it, it's like I'm crazy. Now, I have the same amount of time between the garbage pickups than you. I do. And I got a family, and I got people, and I understand that you needed space for your garbage, but there are clearly delineated garbage places for everybody. You decide you're going to fill up my garbage can on Saturday, and garbage don't come till Wednesday. Well, I'm supposed to have rats in my garage? And I think that we've gotten to a point where we feel like there's no rules for nothing. Like, you just get to do what you want to do, and if you don't get to do it, it's a conspiracy from the world to don't nobody care if you barbecue. Man, if you cook good, man, do you? If you know you like to barbecue, you have to move to a place with a yard. Now, that's just the fact of the matter. When I lived in Harper Court, I had to make a trade. They didn't have balconies. Now, am I going to go stand in the front lawn of Harper Square and light up a barbecue grill and it's 300 units in the building? And I decided that because I didn't have a balcony, dag nabbit, I'm going to gather and I'm going to call 600 people and we going to sit in the front, or just me and my family, and then it makes the next people feel like they should do it. And the next people that feel like they should do it. And now we got everybody barbecuing. Now where you got cold cans in the front yard? Where they going? See? So now, do you put garbage cans in the front yard when you had your barbecue? Do you got bags? So what's going to happen to all the garbage and all the trash? What's going to happen to the hot coals that you going to put them in my garbage can so I got a fire in the back of my house? Again, there has to be some level of what now says community codes of conduct. If you move to a neighborhood where they say the majority of us have said no barbecue in the front yard, either don't move on my block where I have invested my time, my energy in lining and spending hundreds of hours meticulously working on my lawn, because you want to barbecue and I've been here for 20 years and you've been here for 2 months. Let's go to the live line. Who we got? Tony, you're on the Maze Jackson show.
He wants to talk about barbecue.
Barbecue? Where? Barbecue? Let's barbecue in the front yard.
Slow.
Hey, yo, Tony.
Tony Montana. Uh-oh. All right. So I'm going to have to let Tony go. And here's my thing, Ruthie. If the block says it's okay to barbecue in the front, barbecue in the front. But you know, if you on a block with 65 senior citizens, barbecuing in the front ain't working.
I've never seen
Tony, you on the Maze Jackson show. Oh, it's a new caller. Who's up, caller? Caller, we hear you. Go ahead. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we hear you.
I'm hearing you on the radio, but I can't really hear you on my phone.
Talk.
Oh,
that was good.
But I can still make this statement.
Make it, please.
When you're talking about barbecuing on the front lawn, it's okay, I guess. If you don't have a backyard, it's fine. But if you're not in the backyard because your dogs have taken over, I got an issue with that. But if you're going to barbecue on the front line, I don't have a problem with that. But when you get to barbecuing, please clean up. Because now the neighbors 3 or 4 doors down had to pick up who knows what, because you decided to have a party at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when other folks on the block got to work. But I'm not going to go into that.
See?
So I don't mind the barbecue. Just clean up.
And I think therein is the problem. And I appreciate that, Tony. Thank you for your call. We got to figure that out. I think therein is the problem, though, Ruthie. Like, the barbecue is usually in the front yard is usually held by the same people that throw stuff out the window, right? And so if they throw stuff out the window, then they're going to drop their plate, they Remy Pint. Well, you're gonna have to pick that up. God help you if they park down and somebody come up, they park down the block and they screw in the car and then throw the condoms out in your grass. I'm just saying, if you go outside, that's probably why they do.
That's why people wanted to get rid of the Godfather too.
And that's part of the reason. And that's part of the reason why people didn't. I would tell you that's probably part of the reason that people was giving them other clubs a hard time, because you know after two of them family den drinks, people get to feeling frisky.
Yeah, you find some really wild stuff in people's yards.
Ooh Lord, you find some really wild stuff. Ruthie said, "Let them people barbecue."
Because I don't think that, what do they say? A few bad apples shouldn't spoil the bunch. Like, I don't think that we.
That's a nice saying, but in reality, them a few bad apples and the whole thing just gets.
All black people that barbecue in the front yard ain't leaving they bottles or they blunt wrappers. Some people just don't have anywhere else to barbecue, especially with the world shut down. People need an outlet, a way to be outside to get fresh air.
I give you that, but this been going on long before. This was 10
Rain
years
Gibson
ago.
Park is a block and a half. Walk over there.
I'm not carrying charcoal.
Right, you just gonna pour it out in the street and hope the street people come.
I just feel like it just plays into the stereotypes of the same people that are barbecuing in the front lawn are the same ones that are throwing the trash out the windows. Like, I hear the correlation, but I don't think we can lump all barbecuing black people into that category.
We're generalizing. However,
but there have to be rules, and you know, once you start breaking one rule, then it, like May says, once you break one rule,
do you clean up these rules? Why?
Cause I don't want nobody on my property that I paid for. How about that? How about this? Like, I'm telling you, I am the guy that's like, are you really on my property? Mm-hmm. I am the same guy that is like, I will buy you. You killed my mic. Did I lose my earphones? I'm the same guy that will buy a newspaper and be like, and leave it on the counter, and I don't want nobody to touch it. I will buy you a newspaper, but don't crack my newspaper. Don't fold it. Don't don't bend my pages. I want that opportunity. That's how I feel about my front lawn. So,
two guys were in front of Mr. Carey's house doing nothing, just talking, and standing in front of his house. He came out and asked them to move. They probably gave him some choice words. He came back with his M15, and they moved. Nobody on the block would have said a thing to Mr. Carey about that.
Right.
Okay, so Maze, on a hot summer day,
move along.
You see the kids out there playing in the fire hydrant. You gonna go turn it off?
No. I don't think that. I'm not that. That's okay to me, right? I think you got to give outlet, but I also think there has to be a respect for personal property, right? Like the fire hydrant is for all the kids that's in the street. Right now, I'm gonna be mad my water can't turn on, but I'm also be like, man, it's hot in the mug out there, and I try not to forget what it was like when I was a kid. So understanding that, no, I wouldn't turn it off. All right, y'all, we gotta do Tell Me Something Good, but before we do, let's take this call. Caller, go ahead and say your comment, Brian.
We're
gonna have to start telling y'all to turn these radios off. Okay, you gotta get them closer before you bring them back up. All right, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Brian, I will take your call, but you gotta come on with it. Do we got him?
And I try not to forget what's the right mouth.
Okay.
No, you walk.
All right, let's go to y'all. Sonia, give me some. Let's do this. Take a break. Come back with Tell Me Something Good, and we're gonna wrap this thing.
Now I'm hungry. We got a barbecue.
We got a barbecue. I can smell that smoke. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back.
Hey, to everybody on YouTube,
you can tell them,
can you do me a favor
we want to know
like
what's in it for the black people.
I need everybody on YouTube and Facebook to actually like the page. Not just follow, but actually click like. We got to get to 10,000 on Facebook. We're almost there. 10,000 fans, 10,000 likes on Facebook, and it opens up our ability to make economic money. Economic money.
Oh, is that why people always ask me to like stuff? I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Oh, man. Do you feel the same way about loud music as y'all do about like barbecuing? It's like,
I do. I mean,
like loud music.
Like like the Careys would throw a party like once a year, and it would go on past midnight. I didn't care.
Would they tell you, and you already knew what was happening? Like it's
They didn't tell me, but I didn't care because I know this was going to be a one event a year thing. Now, if they did it every Saturday, I'd be like, hey, I want to go to sleep. You know?
Got it.
The problem is people, you know, once they do it once, they're like, well, let's just keep on doing it. Who cares?
It must be okay.
Yeah.
Ain't that like the broken window theory or something like that?
There is a broken window theory, yes. If you let little things...
Yeah, so that's kind of like what y'all talking about, right?
I think if you let them little Negroes break into your garage and bust the window with no consequence, then the next time they be like, let's go hang out in there. Then the next time they go and they say, man, you ain't going... It's just like it's escalating. I'm not a broken windows guy, but I do think, like, kids need boundaries. They need rules. They need to understand, like, yo, respect for property, etc. What has happened is all of those basic rules that were traditional, that allowed us to at least be able to communicate with each other, have broken down. So now you can't, nobody's like, now instead of respecting Mr. Johnson working his way up to buy a house, to get his lawn, to protect it, and to get it to where it needs to be, it's like, I'm a step on his shit. And if you say, then it's like, nigga, why you tripping on him stepping on this thing? Instead of it being, man, Mr. Johnson spent his whole life trying to buy a house, right? He done went through fucking redlining. He done went through white people buying a house on contract, all this shit. Mm-hmm. He wants, there is a satisfaction, a level of satisfaction when I pull up to my house.
It's part of the American dream.
Yes, and we act like black people don't want it, right? So, like, I bet if you were to ask the average black person if they could live in a black neighborhood, go to work downtown, and come back to a nice house, nice crib, and say, let the racism stay downtown, and I could sit in my front yard and sit in my backyard and drink me a tea and enjoy, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't even talk about racism. They'd be talking about the fact that they're living their American dream in their neighborhood. The problem for them is the nigga walking down the street who will shoot your kid because he don't have no respect for none of that. And it's like, I say all the time, if I could live in the suburbs, if I could give my son, racism and all, if I could give my son the experience of growing up in Bolingbrook, I would. And the difference is, I got the money for him to enjoy it. Like, I enjoyed it, and I feel like it gave me the well-roundedness that I have right now. Mm-hmm. And if I could give him that gift and let him have all the ability to run around town and go be free and not have to worry, he might get into a fight, but not have to worry about him getting shot or whatever, and he could go play ball and he could jump in his car and I could give him whatever, and he could have all the benefits, and we could live in a house in Bolingbrook. Mm-hmm. What I'm paying to live in Chicago, if I lived in Bolingbrook, I would have a pool, a boat deck, all of that shit.
Right.
Right? And wings to my house. Mm-hmm. And it's a great feeling to not have to worry about the shit we got to worry about. Mm-hmm. It is. And I think until you experience it, and I think a lot of black people that go, even when they went to the Southland, they went to escape that rat race, hustle and bustle. Absolutely. I just think my old man being like, man, I moved here because I was just tired of people throwing shit in my yard. And it's like, we accept that as normal. And it's like, even having to have this conversation, that, like, it's not the barbecuing in the front yard, it's the lack of respect for the rules of the neighborhood and I'm the community. It is like, we are putting one person's inability to socially adapt to influence everybody. And that, to me, is not cool. It's like, if they've been working, if the neighborhood has been good for 20 years and then some motherfuckers got Section 8 or whatever, or they just bad they don't got to be Section 8. Mm-hmm. They just never had anybody explain to them. Or they got some badass kids and they working all the time. And they kids are tearing up shit while they gone and you can't check them. It's like, that's the same fucking village that everybody talks about. The thing is, the village is always focused on the Killmonger instead of all of the people that really are the village.
You think block clubs could come in and...
I think block clubs with sports and social clubs that'll shoot your ass. You want to sell dope on our block and we got kids and you don't want to listen? Let's let the Sport Hunting and Fishing Club get you. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. It is What's in It for the Black People Radio, WBGX 1570 AM. Let me let y'all know this is the last commercial-free show. Last commercial-free show starting on Monday. All that stuff getting ready to be popping. Shout out to Reverend Dr. Willa Wilson. Shout out to Kimbark Beverage. Shout out to Solo Beauty Supply. Y'all look, it's going down. Down. Shout out to my man Stacy Chauncey. He will be coming back on board with us as well. So we'll have security systems. It's all going down right here on the Maze Jackson Show. So that's my Tell Me Something Good, y'all. We growing. Oh, also, let me tell you, we got 2 more shows coming. Actually, 3. One of them I'm going to keep low key. But we got a midday show coming. So it'll be right after the Maze Jackson Show. You won't have to leave. You can stay tuned into us. And we're going to have a nice female host for y'all to do middays. And then, shout out to those of you that are fans of I Said What I Said. They will be joining us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Afternoon Drive. Doubled up with the Bigs, who will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays for all of our sports fans. Let me help y'all understand. This is a movement. It's like they tried to shut us down, but what they did was they created a whole network. We are looking for quality black content and programming because we want you to start with us at 6 in the morning and we don't want you to leave until it's over. I want you to have something all day long. Out the park. Boom! That's my Tell Me Something Good. Sonia, Todd, Ruthie Mo. Ruthie Mo, my other piece of Tell Me Something Good is I'm glad you came back because I thought Todd was, you got to watch Todd, man. He was trying to sit on that side, so he can't sit on that side.
So, my Tell Me Something Good is, while I was away, just for 2 days, I got a lot of calls and texts. It was 3 days.
Right, yeah,
I got a lot of calls and texts of people being like, what happened? What's going on? And so, it's nice that people are listening. So, I just want to just say thank you to my family, my friends, all of my extended family, people on social that reached out that are listening to the show. I am taking us a vacation next week and the week after that.
Dang.
So don't act like y'all already didn't know, but I gotta say it on air so y'all don't think that nothing is awry or amiss.
You ain't just tired of Todd's craziness.
Like you were like in the back alley or something and they're gonna find you in a few days? No. Nah. Maze is mean, but he ain't that mean.
Listen, I thoroughly enjoy being here with y'all. Those 3 days I missed y'all and I just said, ooh, they are so wrong about this, I should be there.
We was trying to fill in. We was like, but I was saying a lot of times, boy, I wish Ruthie was here to check Todd.
I was saying that too because turning to see Maze and having to talk to him, my back was hurting. This is much easier.
Thank you, Randy. Randy's like, we got to start a Ruthie fan club. I'll be back though. So hopefully, while I'm away, y'all can find a temporary.
I'm looking for a millennial. To sit in while you're here. I was thinking about calling Jasmine Turner.
I got a list. I'm gonna give you the list, Maze. I'm gonna let you choose.
I think you know what? Jasmine be talking so much. Every time she come in here, she piss me off though. No. Well, I'm gonna tell you, we might let her get a matchmaking show or something going on too. All right. Look at the human drink magnet. Like, put the drinks down. All right. We gonna. All right, there. Look at Sonia got her. She trying to make herself out. Put that drink down. All right, y'all. Let me go to Todd. Stroger, Todd, what you got?
Wow. Let's see. Oh, what's today? No, that's next week. Gee, I don't know what I got. Yeah, Ruthie's back. That's always nice.
You know what? Well, I'm glad to have Ruthie back.
Of course, she's leaving. She's like, hey, I just came
bouncing.
back to.
She's like, I came back
to argue with you. No, I got to go.
She got to go, but she'll be back. So it's a good thing to know that she'll be back. All right, Sonia, you got anything? Go ahead. Stand up. Okay, what program is that? Oh, how did you get that job? Did you have a plug? Okay, I'm gonna stop. Yes, right.
Hey.
Oh, okay. You know what? Hey, y'all, Sonia puts her money where her mouth is. She's always in the groove working for her kids. Hey, Randy Span, can I tell you something, man? Y'all don't appreciate that. Let me just so you clear. So we clear. We have 242 live on Facebook, the Maze Jackson page. We have another 24 live on the Maze Jackson regular page. We have 100 people watching us on YouTube. So don't get it twisted. We just diversified our audience. Now, I'm going to tell you, we diversified, but I'm going to tell you what, one of the best additions we could have had was Miss Ruth and Moore. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you had. Now, make sure you don't go to one of them states where you can't, because you know your mayor is on the line talking about she owns Facebook looking for y'all. Can I just say this? The Facebook police are now officially real. Like the city has their own Facebook police. Like I'm starting to feel some kind of way about the intrusion. Man. Hey y'all, when we come back next week, do you think we should have a well, let me ask. Did y'all ever figure out if y'all was proud to be Democrats yet? Okay.
I'm proud to be black, and then I work from there.
Okay, so you proud to be a black Democrat? No,
I'm just proud to be black. And then I talk to the people who I think I can influence to do things that I think are smart.
Can you influence them then to? So let me ask a question. Do you think we'll see any more people?
Well, now I've gotten older, I don't know enough people.
Do you think we'll see any black people step into the arena? Will we see any more state reps?
We will. Even if I have to drag them with Ruthie, you grab one arm, I'll grab the other, and we'll just drag them up there.
Can I get y'all to do this for me?
Can
y'all at least get a report from your state rep? Can we get everybody to call their state reps and their state senators?
Wait, what's the question again, Maze?
Do you support Speaker Mike Madigan? Will you vote for him for Speaker again? And if so,
that's the question?
Yeah. And if so, if you're going to support him,
I don't think that's what he was asking.
Should he resign? No, I say, do you think that? How about this one? Do you think the Speaker should resign? Are you supporting him? And if you are, what did you get in exchange? See how y'all did the...
Wait, Mace, are you proud to be a Democrat?
No. I'm embarrassed, quite frankly. I'm embarrassed.
Are you a Democrat?
I vote Democratic, but I would not say I'm a Democrat. I'm going to say I'm black first, and that's... I believe that I put all people black first. So whether you're Democrat, Republican, LGBT, whatever title you got that you want to put, I start with black. And then from there, I work my way backwards. You don't lose me because you're a Republican. You don't lose me because you're LGBT. You don't lose me because of what you do, as long as you do right by black folks in your space. And I think there's an opportunity for people to do right by our people wherever they are. Everybody talks about the spook that sat beside the door until they got a spook that sat beside the door.
Right? You don't live in the 8th Ward, you're no good to me.
See? And shoot, and if you got a business in the 8th Ward, you might not be any good to you either, apparently. Well, we saw earlier this week.
Well, I don't make those decisions.
Look, see, cop out. See how I always work?
I don't. I can't make no decisions.
I'm not debating that. That's the problem.
Listening to me?
That's the problem for all of us.
I can't get Ruthie to listen to me. She lives in the ward.
What the key is, can you get your...
Sonia didn't even hear me.
Can you get your state rep to listen to you is the question.
Aha.
Is your state rep more loyal to you? Ask yourself. Are the Democrats more loyal to you or to Speaker Madigan? And he said he's going to lead us to victory against Trump. Who going to lead us to victory against him? Y'all cannot believe that Kelly Cassidy is going to be the champion of black people. It is the Mace Jackson Show. Look, Todd, mad in the mug for that. So for Miss Sonia Escobar, for my co-host Todd Stroger, for Miss Ruthie Moore, I am the host of the Mace Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people, y'all? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Mace said, we out of here till Monday.
Ruthie, you miss Commissioner Ellis from Houston.
He said we know how to count in Houston. One thing, Todd, I learned how to do was count.
He did say that.
The like nationally, is the conversation surrounding being a Democrat the same as here in Illinois?
I think it is for young people.
For young people,
I think young people are like. I think that's where. I think that's what's happening. Where young people are at the point of actually physically taking action, whereas old people recognize it and are frustrated about it, right? Like the millennials, that's how you get a Bernie Sanders. That's how you get Democratic Socialists, right? Mm-hmm. Is people who are fed up. That's to me where they come from. I think that I always assumed that it was impossible to break through the two-party system, right? So you choose bad or worse. Young people like, fuck a choice. You're not going to make me choose between bad or worse. Right? I would argue that bad and worse right now in reverse is Democrats. Particularly in Illinois. Right? We talk all the shit about how crazy Republicans are, but we ain't even heard what the fuck they got to say in Illinois for the last 4 years.
Is it because they quiet or
no? Because they ain't got no voice. Okay. They're such a minority. Right? Okay. It's like they don't even count unless the speaker says, I want to make this a bipartisan. So like what we're talking about like I feel like you could hijack the Republican Party in Chicago. Like you literally could say we're running all the committeemen because they don't have anybody running, and you could literally put yourself, like I almost felt like you could do Chicago, run Democrats for committeemen in every slot in Chicago, a Republican committeeman, because there's nobody really running, and then you create a Chicago caucus or a black caucus of black Democrats that are Republicans.
Okay. I think that in their rules, they don't have to seat you if they don't trust you.
Yeah. So but I think again, my premise is if you have nothing, right? You don't even got a voice. We can help you get a voice. Yeah, you might not like a Chicago Republican is different than a Dixiecrat Republican, right? Let's just be clear. They are usually business people who believed in the old Republican Party. I don't really care about the party. I care about the vehicle, right? The vehicle is you get 50% of the time. You get an automatic slot in the debate. You get an automatic, right? So you take the fact that you're on the platform and then you switch the messenger. They've got us so damn ingrained that they would kill. They got us so well that we're dancing on Herman Cain's grave for motherfuckers who ain't never gonna dance on nobody white's grave for us. Somebody texted me. They said if Herman Cain was at the family barbecue, he probably paid for it. Right? And I think, I do think that in every family, there's a conservative...
No, he wasn't. Not in our family.
Well, right, because it worked up until you. Right? I think... the unwillingness... I feel like the biggest fear Democrats have is that if we thought we had a choice. And I feel like every time we kill our choice, then it only makes them double down on saying I ain't got to do shit for you. Right? So just let me give you an example. Mm-hmm. Like today when I'm saying, hey man, you know, Herman Cain, blah, 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 blah. Right? My argument was he's black. He married a black woman. Something business-wise worked for him. Right? It just worked for him. The fact that they can come out and say, fuck Herman Cain, and then black people can join in the fuck Herman Cain thing only emboldens white liberal women to be like, we ain't got to worry about them. Like, if you ain't gonna see no white woman, you know, Betsy DeVos talks crazy all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You do not see white women coming out being like, fuck Betsy DeVos. Right? Not personally. If Betsy DeVos died, you wouldn't see, ha ha ha, that broad went to the motherfucking da 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 from white people. You wouldn't.
See it from black people, though, you would.
That's fine.
Good point.
That's the point, though. That's the point. They are on code. They ain't finna celebrate the death of one of them because they know at the end of the day, regardless of what side, we still win. Black people take joy in being able to say, man, we would. Black people celebrating Herman Cain's death is no different than white boys coming to our neighborhood wearing sellout shirts for Ken Duncan against Ken Duncan.
So with still all the respect for the dead, isn't it the way that he died of the coronavirus?
I think that's
after being at the Tulsa rally with Trump with no mask. After the rest of the world is like,
sitting around with a whole bunch of other people with no mask.
I think it's the way that he died.
I have absolutely.
It's like he died on a stake for Trump a little bit.
I don't think he died on a stake for Trump. I think he died on a stake like 80% of people who are still trying to go to work are fucking petrified of.
That's different though.
No, hold on,
different.
Because he ain't never have to go to work.
He ain't gotta go.
Hold on. Every black elder businessman that I know has not stopped. Right? Hasn't.
I get you. They know how to work.
They say, I can't stop because I got to keep, and they probably have a fear of losing everything still or having it taken. Herman Cain, to me, like I feel like there's a lot of people that don't feel like they can stop. It's not being with Trump. Like, the hardest conversation I have is when I talk to people and they say, man, why can't you just sit your ass down? And it's like they don't understand that I am petrified of not being in 6 months, what the fuck is going to happen? I am petrified. And I am petrified more of not having any money, not being able to pay for my family, not being able to take care of all the responsibilities than I am this COVID virus. And it's easy for people to say, again, I always say, if you got some sort of guaranteed corporate, and shit, people in corporate are losing their stuff. So it's like, and I feel you, but I think that Herman Cain dying still is not an I told you so moment. It's a somber moment. It's a moment where we'd be like, damn, it ain't, ha, that motherfucker died because he was with Trump, blah, blah, blah. Again, I say, so.
If it wasn't Trump, it's not really about him, to be honest with you. It's about Trump.
And the Tulsa rally. And the idea of the rally being in the face of the pandemic. That rally was a big.
That's a lot of people. A lot of people died. Let's say a bunch of people, other people died. Why do black people revel in Herman Cain's death?
If you 74 with pre-existing health conditions, going to a Trump rally blatantly with no mask on with other people who don't believe that the virus is real, who might be infected.
Any white people cheering for white death?
And you obviously haven't listened to black conservatives, because when they talk about black people like a dog.
I mean, I feel like I feel like we should be talking about black. Like in Illinois, I am beyond disgusted with black people. Like, I'm beyond it. Like, I in Illinois, I am beyond disgusted with black people. I would talk about us like a dog too. Like, I just, like, these, like, our black elected officials right now, gutless. And it's like, come on, man. Like, we don't, like, this is when the joint black caucus, right? You can put ain't none of them in the House, stands up and says, as the Democratic Party of Illinois, who we know, blah, 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 here's our history, we think he should step down. Like, they ain't in the House, but as the chairman of the Democratic Party, so every one of y'all that stands up and tells me to vote while y'all standing by this cracker, fuck y'all. Like, we don't see, you can tell me about Trump and this nigga is raping us in town. You telling me about somebody in Washington, D.C. This fool had the audacity to get on and say, I am going to lead us to victory against... You ain't leading us to victory against Trump. Ain't nobody here fucking voting for him. Except downstate. Nobody is like, oh my God, let's get behind the fucking Madigan flag. Except niggas. I am disgusted. I am beyond disgusted. I think that the fact that nobody black, not one black person has said a word. A word. But then, when it's time for a speaker or when it's time for something, we all gotta stand the fuck up. And I'm be honest with you. I don't know what I'm doing for the Black People Voters Guide next time. Because I am literally getting to the point of, like, name me one black elected official that benefits us right now. Like, we're gonna, the power games are happening right now, and we ain't even playing. We don't even have a black senator that stood up. Right? But they ain't in this chamber.
I bet you somebody's gonna say something.
Right now it's safe.
Cause I always thought that there's some people who didn't like Madigan over there. I'm really not really sure who's over there anymore. I guess I'm not paying as much attention as I used to. I gotta go kick Hans in the butt. He's supposed to be going somewhere, and I bet you he's still asleep. Especially since he didn't answer his phone.
Daddy duty. All right.
They gotta do some work now.
Peace out, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Make everybody.
Rest in peace, Herman Cain.
Right. Let Herman Cain rest in peace. Todd had to get out of that conversation. He'd be like, yep.
Hey, we need it's not the Euro step. Give me another basketball move that he be doing, but not the Euro step.
It ain't
something
the
that's comparable. What is it?
I don't know, but we do need to figure out how you do that. He like, shh. Yep, Hans. All right, Todd, Monday. Sonia Escobar.
Jackie Robinson.
Get him their trophy back. Sonya, you got to step in closer if you're going to.
I like what you said about block clubs, Maze, that they should include sports
and hunt club. And then the gun owners.
See, I want to say that part.
The concealed carry owners have meetings too. And they say, man, you see that kid standing on the corner? It's a diplomat that says, hey, brother, you shouldn't stand on that corner no more. We don't like it. And when he say, man, get your motherfucking man. Then somebody says, you see that red dot? Because it's everybody in the hunt club focused on that corner. And not one person. Then he say, I'm walking away. Now,
I'm a good shot.
Shorty gonna stand, you gonna keep serving on our block. Go sell weed, go sell dope, go do it all in the Latino community, go do it in the white community. But if you're doing it in,
understood. I